This is it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. As the curtain rises, so too must it eventually fall. And today, today it's going to come down really, really hard. Season finale of The Greatest Role on Earth. As I am joined, as always, by our fantastic cast from the Circus of Wayward Wonders, who, as you can tell by the fancy little health bars beneath their names, are not doing the best at the moment. But I don't remember where we started last week. I think we started with Chelsea, so let's go opposite style. Sam, we'll start down there.
Hi, I'm Sam. I play your lovely bearded lady dwarf barbarian, Splat. And she's kind of hurting, but she'll do her best to be their wall for as long as she can stand. It's your turn.
There we go. Let's go over. Over. There.
It's your turn.
Over. Okay. I'm Jared. I'm playing Bodhi Perp Oldersport. I don't know my name, whatever. Bodhi Perp's the important part. A wizard, I like to bump things with a staff. I'm doing okay health-wise. Yeah. Who knows what happens? That's it.
I'll take it from here, Bodhi Perp. Hi, I'm Tabitha Hash. I'm a gourmet chef extraordinaire, and I am our party's bard. Doing all right with health too, but I'm extremely worried for our friends who are our front line. I'm so nervous.
And I am playing Vera, who is very squishy, but somehow in the front. And I don't remember why I'm in the front. I think I did the bad. And I'm...
Touch spells. That's why.
Yeah, touch spells. That's the problem. Touch spells and just saying YOLO. And that's Vera. I died. I didn't die. I went unconscious. Probably gonna die. To our GM.
Hi, I'm Squiiddish, host of the Two Perception Show, and the GM for this evening's festivities, running all of the terrible things that have happened and almost certainly will continue to happen to our good heroes over here, who are really just doing their best. And their best has gotten them very far over the previous 6 episodes of The Greatest Role on Earth so far. Our adventures, starting with our opening night, our first show, have brought us all the way now to a distant and secluded hermitage of a druidic order nestled amongst the cliffs on the edge of the Isle of Arran, where something is spectacularly wrong. Very amiss. Animals around the town are in an absolute frenzy. There's demons on the loose, running rampant through the Church of Abadar, a local village that was so kind to host our show. When we made our way inside, we have met nothing but hate, violence, and more horrible demons. We left off last week, kind of bridging a 2-parter here. We were in the middle of the Hermitage of Blessed Lightning, having gotten past some rather surly and unpleasant-looking frogs on the stony shelf outside without having to murder any random animals. Good job. Did good. I'm proud of you. And then made our way inside, where after a pitched battle with not only one of the druid's members, but another one of these strange skin-wearing worm demons, for better or worse, without a skin this time, our party left off in the immediate aftermath of that battle, set inside of a magnificent gallery illuminated by an assortment of colored orbs atop pillars, showing a fresco of the depths of the sea across the floor and rolling storm clouds overhead. Massive brass doors that seemed to lead into the very heart of the hermitage literally awoke and spoke to you, then left the group of you injured, barely needing to tend to your wounds here in the passageway. That's where we begin, my friends.
Well,
Oh boy. That hurt.
immediately, I'm gonna try to soothe Vera
Thank you.
right away.
I can also also do something too if I need to.
It's because that would be my first reaction. I can't help myself.
At the
She's kind of just
very end
sitting on the
previous-
floor, very bleedy.
The very end of the previous episode, you had soothed her once, but she is clearly still pretty severely injured. That was the one thing that we had gotten in the aftermath, as her lifeblood was seeking into the tiles here. Understandably, kind of an urgent situation, but she is conscious. She is stable after you had put that wave of magic into her, Tabitha.
Okay. Okay, good. Let me make sure I don't have any gear.
Thank you for that. That was bad.
You really should try standing in the back, please. You know, you guys make
I was
me
very
worry.
quiet. I was very quiet when it came in, but they were very big doors.
No,
A
very loud
big,
doors.
very big centipede demon thing.
Oh, they were absolutely disgusting. Ugh. Worse than those frogs out there. Oh, the splat.
Splat's
Your
outside the
baby's
door,
okay?
playing with her
Yeah.
babies. She's just like got
Oh,
them in
you
her bag and just kind
okay?
of bouncing them around, like, here we go.
Forgot about
And then
all
she's
the
gonna kind
fun.
of, she's gonna peek in through the door and be like, "Are y'all coming out? Or are you gonna stay in there?"
Are you okay? That's what I'm
Yeah, I'm
asking.
fine. Like
Fine? Okay.
she's beaten and bruised and probably real bloody, but she's got her babies. She is happy.
I think 100% of the damage that Splat took was the fireball. So she probably looks kind of Wile E. Coyote after something backfired on him.
Right.
But she feels like her heart is full.
Right.
I'm gonna go over to Splat. Would you mind if you look a little, and I'm gonna just prestidigitate her to try to take away some of the singe. But at the same time, I'm also gonna use a soothe to try and like clean her up a little bit and heal a little bit of the damage.
Yeah, go on right
that's-
ahead. She's gonna kind of reach out her hand and be like, "You can even touch me."
Okay. I wanted to make sure it was okay, and I take her hand and like pat the back a little bit. So you'll get 1d10 plus 4.
She's going back to the roll 20 die roller. See if it hates her less
Yeah.
today.
Well, we'll see. We're seeing.
I don't know what you did to offend this website last week, but
I
boy,
was getting
howdy, those dice were
26s
terrible.
before.
Oh yeah, it was not cute.
Well,
Wow.
I'm
No.
gonna
Healing
no
Miss
longer-
Black for D10 plus 4, she is going to receive 5 hit points.
I want to fight.
Oh,
For you.
thank you so much. She just like feels
It's-
something kind of heal. Like, oh, thank you. My arm doesn't hurt anymore. I appreciate that.
I think there's like blood coming out of her ears still. I'm just like wiping her own blood away. I'm not gonna use that roller anymore.
Now, I know that we are all... I know Chelsea, of course, has plenty of Pathfinder First Edition experience, but I believe we're all relatively new to the Second Edition system. If anyone among you, and I'm surely somebody is, I think we've done this once before, is trained in the medicine skill, or even possibly expert at level 3, you can treat each other through more traditional means. You don't have to use your spell slots for healing. You can literally sit down and bandage somebody up, apply salve to the worst of the burns, and doctor them to give them health back. It's a process that takes some time, but this entryway that Kasplat has wandered back out to with her frogs only has 2 doorways, one that leads back outside to the cliff and one to the room you just came from. Easy enough to watch both.
I am not trained in medicine. Is anybody else?
Let me look, because Splat always surprises us.
Yeah.
Just nobody?
I could
She's got a plus
absolutely
1
try.
in medicine.
I could try as well.
Yeah,
No, in the
Tabitha,
kitchen,
you want to
it's-
give it a go?
It's
I thought
basically
Tabitha
war.
was trained from before, was what my brain was telling me. I feel like you treated someone previously.
Absolutely
Maybe.
have. The knives
Okay.
were flying. And oh boy, did we need some medical assistance. I will roll for medicine. Oh. Well, that was a 5. I have a +4 in medicine, so you can tell what happened.
Can like Kasplat dig around in her bag and see if she happened to have any bandages with her +1?
Did I take a 10?
So,
Do we have any
What's the
bonuses?
That is a
Rerolls?
feat now, unfortunately.
Oh
my
god.
familiar has an ability, Squiiddish, called it's a restorative familiar. It lets it heal 1d8 times 2. But I don't know if that's just for me, or if I could put like ballast on.
Restorative familiar is kind of taking some of its animated energy into yourself. But who is it you were trying to treat, Tabitha?
I was
Was it
trying
Splat
to
or-
treat a splat, but yikes.
Why don't you roll me a d8?
Wonderful. Wonderful. A
Last
D8.
week's luck is continuing.
I think we're gonna
It
take
is a
ourselves
6.
out.
You just might not even
That
need
isn't going
druids.
to. Yep.
Might be a 30-minute finale.
13. I rolled a
run.
6.
Speedrun.
Roll
Roll
the 6. So, Kasplat, you would root around in your bag, and you absolutely do have some, for whatever reason, some wrappings, some simple enough cloth that Tabitha can use to bandage you. And as she wraps it around the worst of your burns, you don't feel really anything at first. There's the severity of the fire is perhaps enough that it's maybe burned off some of the nerves in those outer layers of skin. Then it starts to feel weirdly numb, and you're pretty sure it's not supposed to do that. Not sure what those bandages are made from or what they got into, but a 5 is actually a critical failure, and instead of healing you, Tabitha is going to deal 6 more points of damage to you
Well,
as she attempts to wrap you
Oh,
up
Tabitha,
with
that
what you
doesn't feel
have.
very good.
not if I use one of these items here. Correct? One of these ace notes or soul bars. Which one's what's a,
Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
I could I use an ace note so it's not a critical failure?
Yeah,
Is it
I'll
possible for
allow
it to not critically fail?
Well, if your bonus is a 4 and you got a 5, that means you rolled a nat 1. If my math is correct, which traditionally doesn't really matter. If you add a d6 to that, it's still going to critically fail.
Have a
But if you're
sawbuck.
going to use some of Chad's energy here,
Oh, I have 2 sawbucks.
I'll allow
I
it.
could.
You do have 2 sawbucks. You could re-roll
I'll
it.
use that instead. Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought I only had one.
Jake the Impaler is trying to save us and
Thank you,
donated to
Jake.
give Sawbucks for
Thank you
everyone.
so much.
Thank you,
Splat
Jake, for
gets
keeping
to
me alive
look
for my
after the little
babies.
one.
I
He's got a
appreciate it.
shovel
you.
and he is flinging support in your direction.
Thank you.
We need it.
We
need it so bad.
I'd basically take 2d20 and take the highest. How does the sawbuck work? For the chat, not for me.
I think at this point it's basically just a re-roll, right, Jared?
Okay, well, just
because your first one was a
I mean,
1
it's
and then your
advantage,
second.
reroll, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
but also, D-Man donated to give more Sawbucks. He wants
Oh,
to
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
For the power of rerolls, we will survive.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, chat, because Squiiddish is trying to take a splat out.
I am doing
Yeah.
everything.
Ah.
Yeah,
I was just
absolutely.
saving you.
I heard he hates babies.
Oh,
I ain't
babies.
done nothing yet.
All
I haven't
19
even
of them.
started
Yet?
doing
You
bad
hear that
stuff
yet?
to you.
how dare you, dear?
He said
your job. That's horrible. I rolled a 16 that time, if that makes it any better. With my addition.
Hey! Which
Yes.
is a 20, which is a regular success. 5 off a critical success if you want to fish with an ace note.
Oh no,
That's up
we're
to
just
you.
going to, We're not going to play with fire here.
On a success,
might
your
need that.
treatment, these bandages, so that numbness at first does feel pretty bad, turns almost to a cooling relief, as this really does start to soothe the worst of your burns. Instead of taking D8 damage, you are going to heal for 2d8 from that success. And thank you, Zeric17 and Hoylid for the follows, and Kaga for the subscription. Appreciate you guys. Throw me that 2d8 and get some health back into Kasplat here.
Do I need to roll it? I need to roll a 2d8, yes?
2d8, yes. I mean, I can roll it if you want me to. I know someone needs to roll it.
No, I got an 8 and a 5. So,
Ooh.
very happy with that.
Good.
13.
13 health is going to be a big help back to Kasplat. And while
She's
you
feeling
are
nice.
having this incredible back and forth here, Kasplat perhaps distracted from the pain by her horde of children, Vera and Bodhiper, what are you two up to?
Vera is just kind of sitting on the floor, just kind of staring at her hands and kind of contemplating everything right now, not feeling so hot, and feeling a little bit of that echo call in her brain to leave, but she's trying to fight it right now.
Are you Bodhiper?
Bodhiperp is examining this door that animated and kind of came to life and yelled at us. Like he's got his staff out, he's tapping on it. He's looking for all the arcane signs to see if there's a way to bypass it.
Now, clearly what you had experienced, what had just happened with this door is certainly some level of magic, some level of enchantment, and there would be something that you could unwind about this. Whether it be small arcane sigils around the edge of the door that serve as the base for its magic or something else. Nothing you can see about this indicates it's anything other than a traditional brass door. Yet to touch, it's somewhat warm. It's generating just a small magical signature. Why don't you make me a religion check, Bodhiperp?
Crap, religion. Wish it was arcanic.
It is unfortunately not that.
We are starting strong. Rolled a 2, so 7.
Get them
Who's
all
only
out
up
of your
from here?
system before bad stuff starts happening, I guess.
We're not having a good
Get them
day.
all out of your system!
This is
Um,
not
I haven't
With a
had to
7.
roll, but I have my dice ready.
With a 7, there's nothing you can see about this door to indicate how this enchantment is carried, what just happened. And it's not just that it's beyond your ability to like parse or pull apart quickly. You don't see anything. You can't identify the source of this magical aura. It doesn't appear to actually be the door itself, so much as almost an aura that just hangs around it. And what you can tell of that is in no way related to the animation, the message that you had seen just minutes ago. It doesn't add up to you at all. I imagine Vera staring at your hands, contemplating life, waiting your turn. After attending to Kasplat, Tabitha, you could treat Vera as well with a further medicine check. I see the doubt. Yeah.
You could. It's okay.
Okay.
I trust in your rolls.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay. Remind me.
We have sawbucks.
Do you? Okay, I freaked out for a hot second because I saw your life roll in my eyes. Would you like me to roll again? Because
Yeah, I mean, Tabitha, I mean, maybe some poultice or something. I don't understand the medicine as well. If you could just...
Okay, let's just do a little occult. Here we go. Oh! 23.
Oh.
23. 2 off a critical success. but is successful for a 2d8 heal.
Okay.
Bumps
Do you want
up
me to
on
roll? You
not a
want me to
1
roll?
from an ace note. Up to you.
If I
The
critically
DCs for
succeed-
medicine are fixed, so you would know exactly what you're trying to roll for here. It's not like a monster's armor class or anything. It's 15 and 25 of the targets.
Well, yeah, ace note for sure. Why not? Let's do it. Let's roll a d6.
Yep.
All right.
Not a 1?
A 6. Boom.
Oh,
We
fantastic.
did it.
With a critical success, the wounds on Vera are more you understand. I mean, she basically just got stabbed with a big 3-pronged knife. Those are the kind of injuries that you see all the time. This is absolutely here for. That's going to heal her for 4d8 of health.
Oh, I think I have that
Critical
much HP.
success is big numbers. Don't say that before she rolls. It can be
well, wish me
That's
luck.
fair.
I know exactly what the problem is with you. Yes, Splash. Are you saying something? Or was that Vera?
Say good luck.
Oh, good luck. Thank you. Thank you. All of my training in the kitchen has led to this. All right.
Medicinal.
I mean,
Let's
stab wounds or
roll.
stab wounds?
Stab wounds are absolutely. We have plenty of those in the
Either you
kitchen.
stab raw chicken or you stab a person, but you can still heal them the same way. Put a band-aid on it.
Precisely. Precisely. All right, we got a 7. Another 7. Okay, a 2. And then another 2, which is weird, but 18.
That's as exactly average as it's physically possible to be, I think.
Love it. I'm up to 24
wild.
now. Thank you.
Absolutely.
after
So
your-
good.
Treatments, things are looking pretty good for the party. But
I was absolutely. I
Why is there a
froze in fear.
you are here in the Hermitage of Blessed Lightning, treating your wounds for 20 minutes, near half an hour of trying to bandage and prep yourselves to continue forward. And in that time, something happens. Something manifests around you. We have a surge of divinity, a spark of powerful, wild magic rushing through the chamber. Mr. Jake the Impaler with 2 of them, no specific target. So why not the 2 people who just got healed? Why don't Vera and Kasplat, slightly injured as you are? I mean, well, Kasplat's already got her frogs. And Tabitha's still got that fantastic mustache, so maybe let's go Vera and Bodhi. I don't want you 2 to get left out. Roll
My
me a
I got-
d20 each of you, please.
16.
Okay.
Of course.
Did you
this is
change
when
the chart?
This is where I'd get the natural 20.
Just the other chart. Natural.
Oh.
Yeah, this is where it would come.
We can roll well when it doesn't matter.
Yeah, when it doesn't matter.
Give me 1 second, please.
Oh no.
Oh goodness.
So, Bodhi Perp, as you look over this door, the group of you from the far end of the hall where the brass doorway had spoken to you feel more than you see a ripple of energy pulse out from this. And Bodhi Perp, you feel a pull, not physically, not like magnetically, but almost at your very essence, out in every direction, almost like an implosion, like you're being stretched apart. Strangely, it's not painful, but it's odd and unsettling. And as you ripple and stretch and expand, the rest of you can see his shoulders shooting up away from each other, his legs fusing together and his hips spreading, and left at the end of this transformation, as his staff and his clothes seem to just suck into his form, melding together into this grayish purple blob. A grayish purple blob. It very much is. As left behind is a cube of Ʞᴿ.
Oh, what?
Maybe 8
what?
or so feet across on a side, a wiggling, wobbly, Ʞᴿ ooze.
Oh, that's
you're a
nice,
gelatinous
Ʞᴿ.
cube now.
He turned into something for us.
Gelatinous
Cool,
cube.
cool. Can I speak still?
Oh,
Absolutely.
gosh.
The voice seems to emanate forth from seemingly nowhere in particular, as he has no visible limbs or mouth or brain.
Bodhi?
But Vera's gonna get up. Be like,
What?
But Ʞᴿ, is that you?
Don't touch that door.
Well, I'm not gonna touch you or it or what.
Oof. Why?
What did you do?
Well, I was looking at the door. Then everything got all wiggly. And he like.
Vera backs up.
And as you go to back up, you take that step. What should normally just be a step, your leading foot never comes back down. As you feel almost a lurching sense of vertigo as the ground just sort of drifts away from you. And you see that one step from Vera send her slowly sort of tumbling back across the room, but not even really the direction she had stepped, pulled seemingly as if by an unseen breeze across to the side of the room where the step comes back down some 15 feet away. Where she looks to be perfectly intact, but somehow is simply at odds with gravity.
Things have gotten very weird. Are you okay, Vera? Stop wobbling like that. You can't wobble like Bodhi here.
No, I don't know what's happening.
Oh my god, it's the wind and the waves. It's the power of Gazra. The unseen breeze carrying Vera to and fro with so little control over where she really goes, and this new watery form of Ʞᴿ. Holy crap, it's actually the wind and the waves. The divine
can you throw me a
intervention
rope?
of Gazra itself.
She's gonna be just reaching in her bag. Well, let me see what I have, I guess.
Am I just floating?
Do I have a rope? I don't know.
You came back down. You are on the ground
Okay.
now. Feeling
Oh, wait.
seemingly normal.
Because Splat's gonna have the rope that they were all attached to prior.
Yes.
She's gonna reattach it to her and try to tie it around Vera. Well, come here. Let me tie it around you.
I'm afraid to
That way you don't
move.
go anywhere. That's okay. I got you.
I'm just gonna let her.
She's like gonna knot it to the best of her ability. All right, and then she's
What
gonna
is
pat your
happening?
head. It's okay.
Thank you.
You're just looking a little funny.
Oh, I'm more worried about Ʞᴿ.
Oh,
can't really
Loki
say
just
much.
a little goopy.
Can I like?
Very
I'm
good.
trying to like extend and then squish, and then like I'm trying to Mr. Fantastic figure out what I can do here.
Right.
And you watch as he expands and contracts and squishes around. He doesn't seem to have a whole lot of control over his form. The Ʞᴿ you would find you can slide around weirdly easily. And that even though you are now like quite a fair bit wider than the doorways and the space between the pillars in this hall, you squeeze between them with no difficulty whatsoever. Looking at him, he would almost at first appear to flicker in and out of existences. When you stretch yourself out, even though you barely grow at all, just that little stress upon your body stretches the Ʞᴿ to make it almost perfectly clear, almost transparent. It's literally difficult to track where he is when he does that.
Oh.
What? Oh, don't do that. I can't see you very well.
What if we
Makes
could
me
use him to our
nervous.
advantage?
Yeah.
Slide under and things and spy.
Bodhi, can you hear us?
Oof, from everywhere, yes. Don't come close.
Can you see?
Kind of, yes. It's like I more feel than see, but I know what things are.
Can I have one of my little baby frogs hop onto Bodhi like in his little cube?
Oh,
Yeah, you can do that.
One
I
just
will
hopped.
try
Your
to
little
catch
What
frog
are you doing?
jumps
I will
onto
try to
Bodhi
catch
Perp
it.
and
Let
just
me catch it,
kind of
please.
you want to catch it up, and Tabitha
I
grabs it out of the air before it lands on
I
him
want to
because she's
stop
played
that.
Pathfinder before.
Take it. Oh,
Freckles, what are you doing?
Oh,
That's the youngest. I'm sorry. You're so ornery.
Oh, right. These things, they eat everything incessantly from my experience, so you'd like to keep a hold on your little
Are
ones,
you
but they
a
don't.
frog
Oh, no.
mommy also?
Well, I
think
am
it
just
eats
aware
everything.
of what Bodhi Perp's form can do. I wouldn't want any of you near Bodhi Perp. He's very volatile at the moment.
Are there bits?
Yeah.
This is going to sound morbid. But are there bits and pieces of the people we just fought that you could maybe shove into me, so that you could see where I am and don't accidentally
Sir?
walk in?
Why?
Pardon?
So
Did you
I
not
mean-
see them? You can do it yourself.
I'm just gonna
I don't want to
step
touch
back.
anybody accidentally.
Notably, Bodhi
metal
Perp,
in
you
there.
absolutely cannot see them. As a matter
Oh.
of fact, you can't
Oh,
even really feel the room, save what you slide into. You can kind of see, almost see isn't even really the right word. It's sense,
Right.
like a gently
Sense.
vibrating figure where each of your allies are, but you can't even tell who is who as they talk, as the voice seems to emanate from nowhere. You do have no vision and only have motion sense.
Is this a permanent thing, or is how long does this last? Oh, come on!
I'm gonna slowly. Is there bits and pieces of that demon creature still in the room? Like the centipede?
Demon creature would still be pretty mostly intact on the floor near the entry hall where he had been defeated, yeah?
Alright, I wanna try and pick it up and drop it a couple times to try and like vibration to Bodhi Perp. Bodhi Perp
You
is
would
over
see
here.
that, Bodhi. You would see this
I'm gonna, like,
movement
keep-
as a...
Give me a wide berth.
And then I'm gonna like move like 30 feet away towards the door.
And as soon as Bodhi Perp starts to move, he's gonna move over the body of the druid priestess, who is just some 10 feet out from the door, but he couldn't see literally at all. And you, as far in the opposite corner of the three of you as you can to watch this, would see,
Yeah.
as he moves over it, the body of the priestess get pulled in and just sort of float up into the center of Uzi Perp, maybe like a foot or so off the
no.
tile, and slowly start to fizz around her exposed face and arms, almost like carbonated soda just bubbling across her body. Her robe and her clothing would be absolutely untouched, perfectly fine. Just her skin would form these bubbles.
I'm going to. I have 2 bags of caltrops, and I'm going to throw them into Bodhi Perp so that there's more stuff in
Okay.
him, so we can see how, like, hopefully, like, his whole shape.
right.
As you throw all of those in, Bodhi Perp, you are going to feel these like mild stings. You are going to take 5 points of piercing damage from your now 90-point health pool.
Oh, well.
Oh. Well,
But you are
stronger
going to
than me.
observe these, and all of you can now see these gleaming little spikes floating throughout his mass.
Okay. That helps a little bit. I'm sorry if that hurt. I don't know what is happening to you.
If you could see me, I feel. Why do I keep changing?
Maybe You know, karma.
Dude, the fates. Karma. They only
You
Bodhi
can't
was
kind of
a villain
murder
and
somebody.
left.
time.
Maybe you're an easy target. I don't know.
That too.
They said just the news. Could be good for the circus.
That's this would be a really great act. This will be a great act.
If only we could replicate it.
Oh.
Have any more of that wild magic?
I guess I'll try and take a look at the other door to see if I can see anything for us to keep going through.
There would be several paths forking off from this hallway where this battle had happened. A lone single doorway on the north end would open to what looks to be a small prayer chamber connected to a fairly large bedroom, complete with its own bathtub behind a folding screen and some other facilities. It seems well appointed enough, but doesn't lead anywhere, have anything of particular interest. The hallways branching off to the north and south of this chamber seem to wind their way through this facility burrowed deep into the cliff face. But those hallways fork off in myriad doorways leading off a great distance. They're not a quick peek. That'd be a commit to one or the other kind of situation.
I'll relay the information to the group, holding on to the rope so I don't float away.
Ugh.
And every time you try to step, you do end up floating almost in a random direction, drifting around totally unpredictably, winding around Kasplat as she holds onto this. And it's pulling with an impressive amount of force, Kasplat. I mean, impressive for Vera. It doesn't bother you at all. But it literally feels like she's pulling with all her might as she looks like she's drifting about like a leaf on the wind. Notably, when she's on the ground, even if you just try to drag her, though she looks like she's totally weightless when she moves, she's no easier to pull than she would be any other day.
Vera, you need to calm down.
I don't know how to stop. I think we might have pissed off the god.
What if we put things in your pockets?
I have a lot in my pockets.
I
Maybe?
don't even have pockets anymore. Uh-oh.
Are there any
Hold-
rocks
you are a
just
pocket.
laying around?
Rocks?
Yes, just any random rocks and debris. Debris, as I would say, and I just pass it up to Vera. Weigh her down.
Well, there's a bunch of various odds and ends, books, little idols and personal effects and knickknacks throughout that one bedroom off the path that you could just gather and just stuff into her bag and her pockets and everything else. Not so much for like rocks, but there's a bunch of random crap you could just grab.
I would like
smaller
to start
bits of furniture from the
passing
entryway.
random things to Vera to see if it weighs her down.
I will
all.
gladly take things. I'll put stuff into my bag. I just try and see if it weighs me down more.
Vera, I imagine, is probably not particularly strong.
No,
And,
I have a
you would-
0.
That's kind of what I figured. You'd reach a point pretty quickly where you feel like it takes some effort to stand. You would be encumbered. You're clumsy 1, your AC and your reflex saves you down, your speed is 10 lower. But then, one laborious step later, you're just drifting wildly through the winds
The
again.
rocks don't help!
Wow, drop it all!
I do, from up
Drop
above.
it into Bodhi-Perp if you can. My
Nope.
work wasn't wasted.
I'm just gonna drop it away from everybody.
Wonderful,
I'm-
wonderful.
Just gonna not move and have Kasplat just pull me along.
I got
So
you. I
you
got
say-
you. Like, tugging on
You
it.
say we
you.
have to go down the path.
Yeah.
Should we depart?
Yeah.
Let's do so. Let's do it. Wonderful. I'll peek through the door and then I'll motion to follow behind.
Leading into these main
Well-
hallways, there isn't even like a main door. They're just a hallway that goes.
Just a hall.
They're normal. Well, it's like a normal hallway through a building. What looks far too narrow for Ʇᴣ, but you'd all be kind of surprised as he literally can't see where he's going. He's just following shape vibrations in front of him. And you see him absolutely undeterred, just into the hallway with no difficulty whatsoever, just squeezing into it, seemingly without any resistance at all. They would lead down a passage offset with doors every 8 to 10 feet on either end of the hallway. What at first I'm sure would be a very cautious checking of what is there would reveal time and time and time again just a huge amount of small bed chambers, almost like little dorms off this hallway, with a single wooden bunk bed and very basic straw-filled mattresses, one or two small chests or boxes of some personal effects, maybe an end table at the foot of the bed. But it seems like each druid who stays in these chambers keeps very little for worldly possessions, and each and every one of these doors would just be another and another and another of these small little domiciles, numbering near a dozen just in this one passageway you chose to follow around to the north. The hallway would fork, branching yet further to the north as it seems to be winding its main path back around wherever those brass doors led. You can see there's a bunch more doorways to more of these small little dormitories continuing on this main path. But the northern fork leads to a small little staircase down a wider hall devoid of any doors to another well-lit area down yet further below, unknown. It looks like it opens up much more that way. Which way you want to go?
All right, we have a fork. Left or right? What do you guys think?
Well, sometimes I prefer spoons when I eat, or a knife that can cut into things, but I don't know about forks.
I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear that. We will talk about that later.
Okay. Maybe left. Which way looks like it might go deeper in?
Right.
Definitely the northern fork, which would be to your right. You went north, and the passageway kind of is kicking back around. It looks like it might continue to circle around the main hermitage itself if you keep following it. But this fork goes down deeper into the mountain and what looks like into maybe a larger offshoot wing. It's difficult to predict, as you have no concept of how big the building is from the outside, seeing as it's built into the cliff face.
Maybe we can go right? It's just odd. We haven't seen anybody.
Right.
There's no one here.
We saw demons, didn't we? And a wild druid woman.
The door said we had to clean the place. So I guess we'll have to go everywhere eventually.
Absolutely. We will.
Let's try something. Can I roll down the steps?
If
I just want to go.
The party, you can't super easily see the steps. But the party could get out of the way in this little extension of hall, so you could slide past and just sort of blindly move your way down this hallway. And as he hits the stairs, you would all see they're so almost comically small compared to how large Ʞᴣ is, that he does just kind of shoot down them. And at the base of the stairs, as the room opens, you see him out, just out into the room, and slide to a stop in an open chamber where Ʞᴣ, you would be completely blind. You would be utterly unable to sense anything.
It's dark. I can't see nothing. I feel nothing.
Open your eyes.
I don't have eyes.
I think we have to make noise for him, or let him sense that we're there. So it would help if we tapped.
I have an
Tap
idea.
the floor. You do? What is your
Because
idea?
I know my babies know their mama. I could have them go in a line. Don't make that face at me. I can make them go in a line and follow me like little ducklings, and then they'll have like 19 little pitter-patter vibrations that Oozy Perp can follow.
That's just splendid.
And real big
Splendid.
Pac-Man energy from this plan.
Right.
But,
No,
I mean, there's going to be a lot of movement.
Maybe make like a formation, like a triangle or something behind you instead of a line.
Yeah, whichever. But, like, little bounces. Yeah, it's a fronga line.
Perfect. I mean, we can. Bodhi Perp, can you move like further forward? Just assume whatever's forward, just move that way, so we don't end up falling inside.
Okay, I'll go this way. I think this is up or forward. I'll just
See him going
kinda-
off at a little bit of a weird random angle. But as the group of you follow down after him, you would be able to see the well-lit area this opens into here. Which after the bottom of the stairs spreads to a pretty large landing, is surrounded by massive cages, almost like cells in front of you, and then on either side of this passage that now kind of spreads on a T intersection before you. Cells, given their depth within the cavern and just the layout of the room, is the first invocation, or first thing they kind of evocate in your mind. But looking into them, they have habitats set up. The one immediately before you as you come in is filled with shrubbery, undergrowth, and small scraggly bits of large log and branch and tree spread throughout, like a small scrub forest area. Off to the left, it's more strewn with dried haze and larger bits of stones, like some of the rolling plains further out west in the Isle. There's a couple of these larger cell areas to your right, which are spread about with almost exclusively massive dry boulders and a few inches of sand piled up across the floor. And it's almost like each of these massive cells here is a different type of habitat representing different ecosystems throughout the island, but all of them appear to be totally vacant. There's a couple of sets of cabinets behind you, what would be against the wall towards the stairs that you would walk past as you enter this chamber. They look like they might hold some simple supplies or tools or kit of some kind, with a large section of countertop space between each of these massive cabinet sets on either side. A huge preparation area.
What was they preparing in here? I want to look around. Things that are useful.
Sure.
If there is any use.
Tabitha's looking around. What are the rest of you doing?
I'll also
They're
help
Oozy
her look
Perp, who I
around.
assume is just oozing. How about you, Sam?
Yeah. I've given a pep talk to my 19 babies. And they're in an arrow formation. And they know to lead Bodhi Perp. So like you'll see you'll see Kasplat just like kneel down in as small of a little ball as she can get to the ground. All right. So it's y'all's job to make sure you take care of Oozy Spurt, okay? He needs you, and that's your uncle, so make sure you take care of him, okay? So you make little pitter-patters whenever we tell you which way we need to go. All right? And then I feel like in unison, they would just start riveting. Like, all right, that's what yes, good babies. So they're just awaiting.
Wonderful.
She's just waiting with her babies.
So, Vera and Tabitha, give me some perception or survival or nature checks as you look through the area.
I will do perception. Not great.
My perception is better. 18.
12.
Vera looking out at the 12, it's all but certain that each of these large cages here used to contain one or more animals. They have a pretty good amount of space. Some of these chambers are 25, 30 feet wide. One down a little hallway to your right where it sort of narrows a bit with more almost a normal hallway between a couple of longer, deeper cells leads to a section that looks to be near 20 by 40. It has its own pond built into the back of it with several, admittedly kind of short and splayed against the ceiling, but wide growths of full-trunked trees surrounded by shrubbery and undergrowth. But you have, as there are none here now, it looks to be abandoned, and you don't really have the natural knowledge to be able to gauge how long it's been since there may have been guests within. It looks like a lot of effort was put in to making these very representative of their areas. Like, this was clearly not done lightly. And Tabitha, as you look through some of the cabinets and cupboards here for things that are valuable, there are a lot of supplies. An assortment of pestles and mortars and alembics and alchemical mixtures that, though crudely labeled, aren't of any use to you, but look to be a wide array of veterinary medicines and salves and poultices to take care of or to rehabilitate animals, as well as a variety of different animal feed and bandages, and a single strange pair of gloves. Look almost surgical. They're bright white, near elbow length, and with a small silvered icon of gauze or that dripping leaf on the back of each palm. They don't look particularly hardy or durable. They're not leathery. They're almost silken. And they stand out as being an odd addition to the goods here.
All right. Very, very strange gloves. As my very brief time as a surgeon in the kitchen, you have to have something that can hold up to the pressure, the weight, stitching into your fellow man. Is it possible for me to see if there's something magical happening?
Yeah. Do you have you or Vera? Either you got detect magic or read aura.
I have read aura.
Then
will-
Vera would
I
have.
need your help with something.
Okay. Yeah, I'll come over to her because what I'm doing does not make any sense. Can't tell. Besides, they look like cages with environments in them.
A
Now-
quick.
Oh,
Go ahead.
what was it?
Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I can't find anything. Did you?
These gloves look very, very interesting. I will detect magic to see if they're magical. That's what I
Your
want to
detect
do.
magic would certainly return the presence of magic in this room, and Vera's read aura would verify what you suspect. The gloves themselves are
Right.
magical and radiate a surprisingly strong aura of necromancy.
Oh, this
Ooh.
necromancy.
This is
I,
not great.
I believe these might actually be of use to us. This whole room seems to have been for the animals, for veterinary purposes. These gloves may help with our healing process.
That would be
I'm not
really good.
sure. I will put the gloves on.
Okay.
Oh,
Just
They
Just
slide
because I
on
can.
with no difficulty. They are quite soft and given. I mean, this room is not in a bad state by any means, but they are well clean and well maintained, and any kind of magical enchantment to even the simplest of items very much adds to that durability. But there is no immediate, obvious use or effect that wearing them has. However, if you want to make me, and I believe you'd probably be best at occultism check,
right. I absolutely can. Let's do that, shall we? Money, money on the honey. A 14.
with a 14, the School of Necromancy Vera tells you, and what little you can kind of get with your own detect magic makes you think that they are probably helpful to healing in some way, but you just don't know what exactly that is. You are fairly confident that they are beneficial and that it can't hurt, but what they do is beyond you.
Vera, would you be able to study this any deeper then? Or should we ask Bodhi Perp?
I mean, I'm pretty good. This feels close to what I'm good at. Could I do an occult roll?
Yeah, you could do, since this item is a non-specific tradition, you can use any of arcane, occult, nature, or religion, whichever you're the best at, which for you is
I'm
probably
best at occult. Yeah, I have a
Roll me an
22.
occult. With a 22, these are more for doctor's gloves. These would have been great 15 minutes ago when Tabitha was trying to heal everybody else, as just wearing them is going to inherently sort of subtly aid and guide you, making you more competent at medicine checks. But beyond that, they do have a fairly potent reservoir of magic within them that can be activated more or less once a day. It takes some time to kind of regather and recharge itself, which as a single action would provide a pretty large amount of immediate healing to something that you are touching. 2d6 plus 7, pretty large immediate surge of healing.
I think these might have been gloves that they used for animals. Like, maybe this is like a weird druid zoo or something.
Right.
The cages seem to be for animals, and these seem to be something like a doctor or a pet doctor or an animal doctor. I don't know what that is. I guess kind of like what we do in the circus is, you know, somebody taking care of the animals.
Yes, a pet
There's definitely some
doctor
magic
is
with them,
very
though.
right. Well, if it has anything to do with healing, I shall hold on to them.
Yes.
Maybe they will
this could
aid
definitely
us.
come in handy.
Absolutely. And there's nothing. So I don't find anything else in this preparation space.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that, like the alchemical things, the veterinary medicine and feed. There's nothing else that seems like it's worth taking or useful at all to you. I mean, there's definitely some stuff in here that Splat could use to feed her frog horde.
I'll grab that.
But
I'm gonna grab that and bring that over to Kasplat.
Right.
it would have a fairly large supply of, like, almost magically suspended small little grubs and worms and things that would like to eat. They have a staggering array of different feed for different kinds of animals in stock. Definitely
I got
baby
something.
frog food.
And I'm gonna hand her the little barrel of grubs and stuff. I found some food for the babies.
Oh, you're such a blessing. And she's going to take it from. Come here, little babies.
Little animals and grubs remind me that I have a tiny little lightning bug. Is he part of me? Is he hanging out on, like, Tabitha, or what's his deal now?
That's a solid question. I would say
Uh-oh.
I would say normally go with Kasplat, except those frogs would eat him.
he's probably around. Smart. All of your gear is part of Uzi Perp now, but that ballast is probably just like on walls or flitting about. Vera and Tabitha just sort of in the general area. Yeah, hanging out. Smart enough not to fly into Uzi Perp or a frog. Just sort of there.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
That's a good question. That's what I'm going with. As you're looking
I'll
through
look
this
for
here.
another door.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. Please go ahead.
So as you're going through and looking around here, the group of you and Uzi Perp having kind of slid off to the side, there's more space down this small narrow passage off to the side where this huge cell is with this pasture and this pond. And it looks like it might again have a couple of directions that the hallway forks around. But following Uzi Perp and looking, there doesn't appear to be anywhere this goes. But with the 12 and the 18 on perception, Splat hanging out with the frogs, as you turn around to leave, you would hear a roar behind you and see almost a wave of black smoke rush out from the undergrowth behind the largest tree in the back of this pen. It looks like almost smoke formed in the shape of a leopard. It throws itself out towards the bars of the cage and hits with enough fury and force to strike and bend them outward. A gap which it forces itself through directly into Ʞᴟᴟ. You see it just kind of float into him. And look around. The smoke immediately fading and coalescing onto a black spotted leopard, showing you this true solid physical form of it for a moment, before the emanations of smoke around it just sort of kind of enshroud that body in a thin, very dense layer that they continue to excrete as they're stuck inside Ʞᴟᴟ, which would see this blur of motion for just a moment, see it slam into you, and then you would suddenly feel like you have a pretty good meal.
It's weird. It's weird.
What was that?
What just happened? So quick.
Like
Still in
a
him.
hot spring, but on the inside.
I'll go over and look at what just happened. See what I can find.
We should be able to see it, correct? What is
Yeah,
floating
it's kind of floating in Ʞᴟᴟ here. You can absolutely see this strange little black spotted leopard that seems to be just emanating smoke, and occasionally it coalesces into large, dark bubbles that just sort of pop off of its body and sit inside Ʞᴟᴟ as separate little black smoky orbs in his gelatinous body.
Why would
Honestly,
you do
Vodafone, I
that?
think you should go first.
You're a monster.
I mean, this
This
is
is very nice.
I mean,
I agree,
it's the truth.
But I mean, I'll go. Yeah,
You should definitely go first, because whatever is gonna try and hit us might just get pulled inside of, your form, and kind of just chill inside there.
Now you start to feel a burning pain, Ʞᴟᴟ, as you take 11 points of fire damage from the smoldering leopard inside you.
Oh, that's horrible.
Indigestion for him.
Hey, can I vomit? Can I spit him out?
Expunge it somehow.
Yeah? Yeah, I don't see why not. I guess that's not normally they're mindless. That's not I'm sure that's a thing they can do. They just don't ever do that. In a scene that I will not describe in detail, this slimy, smoky leopard just sort of slops out of Ʞᴟᴟ onto the floor next to him, still wet and very gently smoking. But as this figure is pushed out, it's almost rigor mortis. It's completely motionless after it got in there. Its legs and even its face locked in that exact position they were when he got enshrouded by the smoke, and he just plops onto the floor, almost clattering like a solid board onto the stone next to him, still completely locked into that pose.
Made
I'm not
fire
touching
inside me.
This has all happened so fast. I can't even begin to react. What is going on?
I think it's dead. But
You want to make
I
me a
don't
medicine
understand.
check real quick?
I mean,
Anyone?
I'm not trained.
This isn't to
I'll
like
take it
treat it.
too.
This is just as you
Just
look
a
down at
check.
it here.
I got a
Yeah,
That
6.
one.
I got a 10.
You have no
Does in
idea.
fact appear to be dead.
Oh god.
Ʞᴟᴟ seems to have a pretty potent form
Jeez.
here.
You need to relax. You're both just so disgusting.
Okay.
Keep
Where did it
going
come
in front,
from?
though.
Yeah, fine. But I remember I cannot see unless there's noise or motions.
You need
Its
one
head
person.
snaps back and it roars as it
Oh.
looks around to Bodhi Perp, I
Wonderful.
think, and Vera that are closest to it, kind of twitching on the ground as it's clearly
alive.
attempting to right itself and attack, but it's having difficulties.
It's alive, it's
Oh,
alive,
that
it's still
dog.
alive.
Don't
Oh.
do that.
Splat.
Do
Uh,
we
uh,
get it?
Does it have like some like goo on it from Bodhi?
Yeah,
And
like-
it looks like it.
It looks a little glistening, a bit moistened by Bodhi, but it doesn't have like a huge glob of oozy perp on it or anything.
it's solid, right?
It looked like it was, but now it's definitely moving again.
I'm a cat, so can I speak to this cat?
You can speak cat folk. You cannot speak
But like it's a
regular cat.
We're not so
Meow?
far. Right. Not so far removed, right?
I mean, you can talk to this cat about as well as I can talk to a gorilla.
Wonderful. Let me make sure.
Because
I
it
don't
is
have any
probably a
speed.
similar comparison.
I guess so.
Lamau.
La meow.
I am. Ugh, I want this thing to chill out. Is there any catnip around? I can chunk at it. Are we still
Who
in
is
the
the
room?
closest to it right now? Probably
Yeah.
Bodhi, Oozy Perp, as he literally
Yeah.
just saw it, Oozy Perp. This thing turns and twisting half of its body, reaches and slashes out at Oozy Perp as you turn back to these cabinets to try and find some catnip or something. The bad news of Bodhi Perp's situation is that it's basically impossible to fail to hit him. But the good news is that he cannot be crit. So you are just gonna get regular hit by this by nature of you're a blob.
I got a real bad AC.
It's literally 10, I do believe.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you are going to take 13 points of mostly slashing, but some fire damage as you watch this thing kind of enraged rip out at Bodhi. So you still got like 62 health left, you blob man, you.
I'm at 51 by my count.
I think we both took the health off once.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm tracking on this token over here too. And let us come yonder, and I will giveth unto us a map.
Ooh.
We're more or less like this, I think.
Nice.
It doesn't seem like it's cognizant or coordinated enough at the moment to like roll initiative on this, but it is starting to billow out that smoke again. And as it does, Vera and Kasplat that are kind of nearby it here, it's starting to fill the area in front of this pen and start to get difficult to see through this smoky fog. Tabitha, you would quickly find what certainly looks to you like some of the highest quality catnip you've seen.
Wonderful. I pick it up.
Save that for
What do
later.
Wait. If we're not in initiative, can I take it?
Yeah, we're not in like, it's not.
And
like-
run full speed. I want to run and throw just a fistful. right in its face. Now yell,
They're gonna bring-
calm down.
This big pitch
That would've-
hits. You can hit it. It's like it's on the ground, just like swiping at Bodhi Perp.
Oh, yeah,
It stood up
smack
or
it in the
anything.
face. Can I do like a diplomacy or something? Like try to convince it that there's just better things to do than.
I think a fistful of catnip is probably more potent than anything that's gonna come out of a diplomacy check for the animal here.
Whatever I can, just to add a little
But
flavor.
you see it hit this thing in the face, and as it's still got like 3 of its legs sort of locked in this position, tucked against itself as it jumped into Uzi Perp, it turns its head towards you and opens its mouth and just roars, slapping itself across the ground, like trying to right or rotate as it can as its other forelimb starts to kind of jerk and free up. And you see its eyes flare up red, and even through the like black fur and spots on this leopard, especially around its eyes, you can see thick pulsing veins rage up out of its face. It is berserk.
Berserk.
Okay, well, while I would like to smack that stuff in its face, after I do that, can I roll? Can I do a nature check? Please.
Sure.
To know what
Absolutely
this
give me a
thing-
nature check.
That is a 17.
As she's looking at throwing the handful of catnip before I get the result of that, Vera and Kasplat, what are you two doing? Kasplat, I imagine you got your frog army like right back here on the other
Yeah.
side of you.
She's gonna be like, okay, y'all don't attack this thing, all right? You do as Mom says, and you stay here out of danger. Okay? All right. They're good.
Vera's gonna move away, not wanting to be as close as possible to the cat. I want to get out of the smoke as well. Are we attacking this thing? Are we? What should we leave?
Tabitha
I'm
looking
trying
down
to
at it.
calm it down.
You try to calm it down, and it does seem like a level beyond feral. It's not.
Oh.
It doesn't look like diseased or sick, but these red eyes and these pulsing veins that run through its face, almost draining the color of the flesh beneath the black fur, is near pallid. This thing does not appear to be just a regular jungle cat anymore. Something horrible has been done to this creature.
Oh. It's like, is this like the rats or the snakes?
Oh, it might be.
Well,
Oh,
if that's
no.
the case, it means we just gotta kill it.
There's
no getting through to this thing.
Cut anymore.
I'll say, Bodhi, roll over this thing one more time. I tried to calm it down. That's not going to work. This poor creature was just a victim of the times. Now back up.
Yeah, can I engulf it again?
You sure can.
Yeah.
It hasn't managed to stand up yet. So Bodhi
Oh, boy.
slides back over it again just as it starts to regain its motor function, regain control, and it gets pulled right back up into the gelatinous blob. Where you see again, it's like a silent, wordless roar out of its mouth as its head starts to lock and freeze. And again, this smoke emanating out from its skin starts to form this film over its body inside Uzi Perp. But after a few moments, that too dissipates. As the thing stops, the emanating smoke seems to stop. It is well and truly still inside Uzi Perp.
Good job.
Poor thing. Bodhi, just stay still.
That's like food.
Don't make it suffer.
Yeah, does it get hit points back?
Does it get hit points back?
Does
he's
the
eating
smoke,
it.
like, fill my...
Oh, Bodhi
am I a
perp.
smoky?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Am I a
Bodhi.
smoky
Yeah.
cube now?
It's making like these smoke. It was making these smoke bubbles within you, and you still have quite a few. You've got like an errant series of caltrips, smoky bubbles, and sort of obscured by this, there's still the body of the druid that's just kind of been floating along on the bottom of you this whole time. And as you pull this cannon a second time and it rolls her body over, the face inside her hood is now just a skull, still looking like it's covered in these small bubbles, like a carbonated soda, still just dissolving away. This incredibly virulent acid that is Oozy Perp's body eats away at it.
I think it's dead.
Yay.
Yeah.
It's very
Are you-
weird. I don't know how.
Are you,
My
are you
stomach is on the
okay?
outside.
You're feeling all right. I know that wasn't pleasant.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I hope this is temporary, to be honest.
Well, it might be your life from now on, so we just kind of gotta look at the bright side, Bodhi Perp.
In a flash,
And
all
look!
of you see an image of that brass door. Again, a series of the animals' faces before you, a fish, a deer, a hawk, all as if they were gazing out at you from the door again. And then see a bright light as a void appears between them, a door opening.
Where was that?
Just that.
Is that back in the other room?
Yeah, is it behind me or where is it?
You all just kind of saw this in your minds, like a vision.
Oh.
Did you all see that as well? Wasn't just me.
Yeah. No, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm getting hunger visions.
Did we do it?
Wonderful.
I'm gonna bring a snack over to the splat.
Oh, thank
I
you.
stomp very loudly, and I'll say, "Back up, Bodhi. Oozy Perp, please. Back up." And then I'll try to walk around the corner. Thank you. And
This
No, we're good,
door
we're
is
good with
familiar.
Math,
Okay, cool.
probably. And as you make this space, filing back out, are you heading back to that entryway, to that door?
as long as
Is that
I've
the one that appeared in
I've-
our head? Sorry.
It looked like the door you had seen with the druid and the worm demon, and you saw the faces of
Oh.
those animals carved upon it again as this vision of opening flashed through your minds.
Yeah, maybe we should head back. Because that looked familiar. I think that's what Bodhi Perp touched to become whatever that is.
Probably squeezed through it.
Yeah.
You could slide underneath.
I'll start heading back the way we came to go back to
I'll
that main
follow.
room.
Right.
Group
Follow my
you
frog.
following your frog arrow, making your way through the halls, back past these dormitories to this entryway to this atrium. You would hear, after a few moments' journey, after turning back to the main dormitory hall, a weird splat behind you. Turn around to see the body of the druid just plopped face down on the floor, what's left of it. And
Gross.
I good.
the leopard also just sort of being dragged across the tile as Oozy Perp's form wobbles and waves, shrinking and pulling itself back down as it has consumed enough nourishment to regain his form once more as Bodhi Perp.
Oh. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Spilling a bunch of caltrips around him and just blasting out some errant bubbles of smoke as they're released, almost like small fireworks about around his restoration.
Well, isn't that real convenient there, Bodhi Perp? Just when we told you to go underneath the door. Kind of weird, huh?
Yeah, that I don't wish that on anybody.
It was really convenient,
Heavy
though.
bag.
It helped. Definitely helped.
It's very weird digesting things inside of you that you can feel.
Yeah.
I don't want to imagine.
Same.
Being a literal
So,
stomach is a nightmare of mine.
y'all want me to try to open this door?
Yeah. Can you break it down?
Yes.
I don't know. Can I break it down?
You can break it down very easily as you
Oh. Can I just
ready
open it then?
yourself and feel it to see if you can throw it open. It's light as a feather, offering almost no resistance to your hands as you just touch and push them aside.
Wow, I'm
like
stronger
they were
than
nothing.
I usually am. It's gonna be good for the act later.
The first room you came to in this hermitage with its pillars of coral and trees and this amazing fresco of the entry behind you, we battled the demons. It seemed each of the chambers on this main walk to the heart of the hermitage has been more fantastic than the last. This chamber beyond the brass doors is absolutely no exception. Massive. 60, 70 feet across in any direction. The ceiling arcing dozens of feet high overhead. An enormous cathedral, the Gazra, in the heart of this cliff face. An incredible shrine to the wind and the waves. You stand on almost a lip, on the precipice of a pair of huge, curved rivers, massive channels carved into the floor that weave throughout this chamber, bisecting each other with the pair of moats, one churning with turbulent water, the other shrieking with howling canyon winds. And though they intersect on the floor some 15 feet in front of you, they somehow stay completely separate as they pass, whipping and whisking through each other in this incredible display of nature's wrath. These chasms appear near bottomless, we're positioned by the door. Some incredible work of architecture, engineering, magic, or perhaps all three. There are some slender bridges crossing these moats, leading to the far side of the room, which is inlaid with yet another massive mosaic of what appears to be a whirling god of water, wind, and thunder, fighting against a massive red reptilian demon that appears to be near the size of a whole world. Statues sit flanking on either side of a throne at the farthest end of the chamber, where a variety of figures are gathered around, one of which you recognize. Sitting at the bottom of the steps up to this dais, between two statues, one a bearded storm elemental holding aloft a bolt of lightning, the other a stern woman with clothing seemed to be made of sea foam with an ornate coral crown, is a squat, little halfling woman. Her simple and squalid gown at extreme odds with the splendor of this chamber, and behind her seethes appears to be a carpet of rats through the center of this room.
I hate it.
I hate it. For real, yeah.
Posed on either side of this strange divide are a pair of two more druids, wearing wooden squared shields emblazoned with the icon of Gazra on one arm and tridents in the other, as they, along with this halfling, all turn to look in sheer bewildered confusion as the four of you enter the room. Two more figures lurk by this throne. One, small, balding man, skin very tanned, as if by an entire life spent out in the sun. What little dark hair he has left, flinging up around his ears and down to a well-trimmed beard. So half of his face matted with blood, one of his eyes blackened, and very simple robes and vestments as he slumps against the back of this altar here, and standing over him, very slender, tall, lithe figure of a woman, near 7 feet tall, with a silver circlet keeping her silky dark hair back from her face, curled horns rising up from either side of her head, bending out to points another few inches above. And an incredible red gown coating her body all the way down to her feet. Two massive bat-like demonic wings sprout the centers of her shoulder blades, making her form enormous, even as they fold comfortably behind her. The man, you're not even sure if he's conscious. This demon woman, the only one who doesn't immediately whip around in shock as the rest of the druids in the room do. The halfling, seeing again the faces of the 4 circus folk who would run her off at the opening night, simply screeches out, "How? How did they open the door?"
I just opened it. Splat just speaks up. It wasn't locked, actually.
Was it locked? It was sealed. It was sealed by the very power of nature, the manifestations of its wrath. And demon woman
guess nature wanted us here.
puts a hand way down as this halfling's shoulder is almost at her waist, and just kind of gently caresses her shoulder, like a loving touch. Looks down to her, smiles. Well, their presence simply makes them interesting, doesn't it? As she turns up to look to the group of you with a warm, welcoming smile on her face. I think we should take a break here.
Oh, as her chilled eyes glance upon us, we freeze.
Oh boy.
And it's a break time.
I will just say during this break, I would have put my frogs back in my backpack.
Yeah.
Scoop them all up. Come
Yeah,
on,
like,
guys.
come
You
on,
gotta hide.
this isn't for you. This is adult stuff.
Do we have abilities to like
go
make
bad.
them grow up immediately? So we have 19 of those slurp things.
Storm
yeah.
of giant slurks.
That would be
Storm of
amazing.
rats. I think I know who wins that one. But without that, well, if this does come to blows, that's going to be, it'll certainly be something. We'll be back in a bit, what, like 12 to 15 minutes, I think.
I think 14,
our normal
yeah.
thing.
I think that's our sweet spot today.
Vec the Goblin, thank you for the follow. And everyone else here supporting us on the Dad Network. Don't go too far, because we have a finale for you when we return, everyone. BRB.
Better give me all your gold, or I would have got you.
You're making a big mistake, Val.
Yeah, why's that?
Because I control the power of the universe.
If the atmosphere at your table is less than impressive,
That doesn't normally happen.
you may find it hard to create those magic moments your players crave. Lucky for you, Sirenscape is available for download on your mobile device.
Time's up.
Now that's impressive.
First time. Every time.
Go to Sirenscape.com today to download your free trial and get the right sound for your tabletop games. And don't forget to check out Sirenscape in action every Friday night on Dragons and Things.
that thing around before you kill yourself.
Are we not encouraging that?
Sir Gerald's got says one must always work to hope with skills.
I didn't realize you had any of those, Quigley. But you know what we should all do? We should all take a moment and reflect on how amazing I am.
No.
What is that?
This is diamond dust. I found it at ꜱᴇᴜso괱ᴜ.
You mean you stole it?
Listen, he was practically a thief himself.
Does this mean you plan on teleporting us again? Because, no.
No. Why does everybody keep telling me no? Guys, nothing could possibly go wrong this time. I've got it all figured out. All right? Besides, there's no trees in the windscourge waste, right, Greg? Greg?
Someone comes, sister.
Is it a boy?
Several. How do I look? Like a tramp. Who comes, and what do you seek?
I'm Crag, and these guys are not really important. I hear you're the local expert on curses.
Dark magic, powerful, and ours to command. Who do you wish to curse?
I don't want to curse anybody. I need one lifted.
Did you deserve it?
It's debatable.
Oh, you poor, poor thing. What can I do to make you feel better?
Agatha, compose yourself.
But Eleanor, I'm always composing myself. It's much easier with someone to help.
Please excuse my sister. She's a whore.
Shut up.
You shut up.
I'm
Come back
telling
here and
Mom
practice
that you
your
keep
herbs,
doing
because if
this
you
because you
don't
embarrass
practice the
me in
right
front of
spells,
these
Hey,
people
they're not going to be
and my
focus.
future husband.
Curses, lifting, very important.
Right. The price is great. Are you willing to walk a dark and dangerous path?
Do you accept possibly magical swords and belts?
No, but if money's a problem, we could always take the more traditional routes. How about your firstborn?
No kids.
If you haven't any goods, I'd be happy to exchange services.
I got this one, Craig. It's on me. I insist.
Oh, really, Marcus? Because just back there you said that witches couldn't even do
Witches are as equally as powerful as wizards, Angie. Oh. That's what I said. I would know, being one myself. In fact, I was thinking we should probably get away from these mundane folk and discuss the magical arts in greater depth.
I've never met a wizard who could get deep enough to interest me.
Though my sister's intentions were salacious, I believe she may have a point.
If you're going to insult me, would you at least use real words?
There's an orc who's taken up residence in the woods nearby.
Has he threatened you in any way?
No.
Has he raided your village?
No.
Looted, pillaged, or plundered?
No, he did bring us a horrid pudding when he moved in, but the problem is the noise.
We have no idea what he's doing over there, but we're certain it's highly dangerous. There's all this smoke and fire and these horrible noises. All day, all night, it's just awful.
Our work is extremely delicate. We can't afford any more interruptions.
Easy. Just lift the curse and I'll take care of the orc.
That's precisely the problem. Any interruption during the ritual could have consequences.
Let us handle the orc, Sir Crag. It'll be no match for my fury.
This will be really entertaining. Where's the orc? Figley, you do realize that surprise is the only advantage we have against an enemy we know nothing about, right?
What? Why are we whispering?
Because we're sneaking.
Oh, Sir Gerald would not approve of such activities.
Well, then I hate to break it to you. Sir Gerald is probably dead in a ditch somewhere.
Shh. Nonsense! No weapon could pierce Sir Gerald's gleaming armor. He was an impenetrable fortress of good. Onward, friends, for glory! Dead in a ditch.
Is it dead?
I don't know. You're the expert.
Somebody should go check it out.
Want to go boldly forth?
country? It's difficult to tell. Exodius! Fine.
Chicken, bone.
Gather your crew and prepare to embark on the journey of a lifetime as you explore the packed worlds of the Starfinder universe, taking on the role of a science fantasy hero customized to fit your playstyle. But danger lurks amongst the stars. Will you fight back with advanced weaponry and cunning tactics? Or will your hero wield the devastating forces that fuse magic and technology together to alter reality? Your crew must come together if you have any hope of victory. In Starfinder, every decision drives the adventure as you build an epic saga with your friends. Bring your story to life in a game where the fate of the worlds rests on the answer to the most important question of all. What do you do? Begin your journey into the Starfinder universe today with the Starfinder Beginner Box, now available at Ʞᴱᴜ.com, your local gaming store, and anywhere else adventure can be found.
you ready? I'm ready.
No.
I don't know if they're ready. But I think it's time for us to come around to the end of things. At least for now. Welcome back, everyone.
Oh, I hate this.
Yeah.
No,
This
thank
music.
you. I'm gonna leave.
Menacing.
The greatest roll on Earth and the worst soundtrack on Earth.
Hey, I'm trying.
I'm scared.
All right, here.
It's-
This
I
love it,
this
keep
will be
it.
more cheerful.
Ooh.
You know.
We got
I can
worse
dig it.
somehow.
Is this where the vampires come in?
The vampire Calliope, I love it.
You know. We might be summoning a vampire. Who knows?
Who knows?
It's probably not a vampire, but this woman here could possibly pass as one if vampires grew horns and had deep red eyes matching the color of her gown. As we had left, this massive brass doorway to the heart of the hermitage had opened before you, revealing this incredible scene. An awe-inspiring room filled with a similarly but worse awe-inspiring menagerie of figures. Swarming hordes of rats milling across the floor. More druidic retainers spread throughout the room. And worst, the halfling from the Circus of Wayward Wonders campground. Almost certainly the woman responsible for the death of Thunder, your ringmaster, for your opening nights. And what, of course, almost has to be another demon. This one, as we left, it turned to the group of you across the room. You near 40 feet across, as her voice carries across the howling winds and the rolling waves through these channels on the floor. That door that you just opened so easily was sealed by some of the greatest might natural magic could muster. Quite impressive, truth be told. I don't believe we've had the pleasure. I'm Beleni. And you are?
I'm a mom.
Where's the mayor?
Who?
The mayor.
And the halfling shrieks out over that. The mayor has been dealt with. That fool was enough to think that he could come and parlay with us for the safety of Aberton. That he could buy our fealty and save his disgusting city and the wound it has rent upon the face of this world. And the demon whose hand is still on the halfling's shoulder kind of steps around behind her, just very lightly caressing her fingers across the back of her neck so she can get her hands on both shoulders. Now, Nemia. The time and the place.
Well. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
You've come from the city, take it? If you're in search of your mayor, seems that he has come before you. He didn't seem terribly interested in his devotions to Gazra. He had no true desire to join the cause, or no understanding of the true power of the wrath of nature. Nemia, my love. And she is very touchy. Again, like a lover behind this small little halfling. The view is almost ridiculous, framed as it is by the seething pile of rats before her, and this small halfling wearing a headdress made from what looks like the top half of the head of a giant rat, unwashed capes and somewhat almost filthy garb, and this extremely elegant, composed, massive demonic woman behind her. It would be comical were it not so unsettling to look at, and were the situation not as dire as it is. May I assume then, if you've only come in search of your dear mayor, the group of you have no interest in the worship of Gazra and the whims of nature?
Oh, I don't have time for that personally. I gotta take care of 19 newbies. You know, and indoctrinate them to the circus.
You see Tabitha's ears twitch upon hearing, you know, the disposal of the mayor, and this just feels like almost like a, do you want to hear about a wonderful god, guys? Like, it just sounds like some nonsense. Tabitha's had enough and just gets really stiff and says, "You mean to tell me that all of this nonsense, this senseless bloodshed, is all built upon you spreading the word of your god? How nonsensical. How tediously time-wasting. You have dragged my troop across this town for long enough, and you shall pay." And I will hiss, and I want to, like, intimidate if possible.
Yeah, roll me an intimidate check.
My eyes are getting big, my hair is standing up, my mustache is flexing. 23.
Mad. 23. The halfling girl almost kind of shrinks back, physically taking 1 foot up and putting it a step closer towards the demon looming over her. Who still hands on the halfling's shoulders, prevents her from backing up any further. And you see her visibly kind of glance around the room for a minute, a little afraid, before she just screeches back. "It's a divine mission! We're saving this world! Aberton is a plague! Its people a disease! Their stone and steel rends the earth! Clawing at the very heart of nature! Destroying and displacing all that it touches! It's vile! It must be stopped!" And,
You are nothing but a flea-ridden, plant-grown inquisitor. Don't speak such... just... these terrible, terrible professors to me. How dare you impose yourself amongst these people?
Even laughs at this. Like, she chuckles, kind of a smile, taking one hand up to her mouth. "Please. Oh, your view of this world, of these things, of the progression of the way things have to be is so, I suppose, predictably mortal. You, all of you," and she just sort of gestures with this free hand towards the group of you at the door. "Whether you be human, pure, or alike, you mortals have a source of power, an incredible will within yourselves, a drive, a determination. Your strength, it lies not in stone and steel and coin, as your kind always so believe. This," and she points at Tabitha, "this vigor, this dedication, this is your power. Emotion. This raw energy that your kind, short as your lives may be, handle to such an extreme degree. It's something I myself have difficulty still believing. If you would harness that, give into it, understand and allow the power of your own feelings to truly take hold, no end to what you can do."
This isn't
Puts her hand
nature.
back down. Why isn't it?
It's not nature. And I'm looking at the halfling. This isn't nature. This is manipulation. This is demons. This is not pure of the world. You're being lied to.
Less so than steel swords and coin? Disgusting monuments built upon the earth to mankind's own vanity?
This isn't natural. This is man-made.
And
This whole monument.
Shaken as she is from Tabitha's rage, you see her turn and glance back towards the man still slumped against the back of the altar. She looks back towards him, almost like a child would to their father for reassurance for a brief moment before she turns back out to the group of you. No, that is what I once believed. Humans, aberrations, devils, labels that we place upon them were abhorrent. We're somehow detached from the normal order of things and not simply a step of the process.
It is not. It's not natural. You live and you die, and you go back to the earth. This is not. Did you see what they did? They used the body to come out.
Horrid.
And
they took them over. They need you to do their bidding.
Demon
this isn't natural.
Turns around as you're talking. Picks something up off of the altar behind her. A tome, fairly thick and heavy, bound in gilded leather, and flips it open. And even from this distance, you can see imprinted upon the cover a huge golden key. Just kind of looks through it. Yes, but what you speak with such conviction? Is this true understanding, or is this simply parroting that what mankind hails as gods tells you to believe? And she snaps the book shut. I've never understood. Your race is upon this plane, this world of material. It's a gem. Prize, a trophy, which any number of demonic lords and war chiefs deep within the fringes of reality would give everything to have. The one who conquered it be a hero, a legend to his people across all the realm, and many have tried, but they have failed, even given your feeble bodies and infinitesimal lifetimes. The reason is this emotion that so many of you don't harness until true desperation comes upon you, or proper guide, understanding. 7 Pinnacles Power. And she just casts the book down onto the steps of the dais. Patience, justice, joy, competition, love. As she runs one finger across the halfling's cheek. Motivation and pride. The gods didn't even try to change the title of that one as they sold them to you as evils. Can you imagine a craven, pitiful being that would accept that pride would be a sin? An evil?
I don't believe in any of that. I've only been alive for not long, but I know what I know. This is wrong, and you're hurting people. You're hurting nature, the natural order of things.
The halfling looks like she's sort of losing her grip here. We are the natural order of things. You're
so you are God?
Traveling entertainers, I've dedicated my life to this, and only now do I begin to understand.
You
have
build
no
your
idea.
success off of suffering. How dare you justify this? Your own animals. You should care for them, and yet you use them as a weapon of destruction. And they are in pain. Ugh.
Weapon? No, you misunderstand. I have helped Nemia here, and the rest of her fine clergy unlock their true potential, much as I have them within themselves.
Disgusting.
You're using them. And I'm
Can I
going
do
to.
Oh yeah,
go ahead.
after you're
No,
done.
no,
Yeah,
you don't want me to.
Oh, I don't? Okay. I want... If I can just try to appeal to Nemia, because clearly this demon is, like, just clinging to Nemia. Is it possible to do a diplomacy or something of the like?
You could absolutely try. You could roll me a diplomacy here. What are you saying?
I want to say, if you truly believe in progress, in saving what you have of nature, you will never achieve your goal like this. It is only temporary. Especially one promised of that of demon. You must work and build with everyone around you. This is not the answer. Basically just trying to appeal to their better nature, reminding them that they are better than this and there are better solutions. Don't go the easy way out. And
Roll me a diplomacy check.
That's 23.
23. Did you see her sort of look down at her seething horde of rats in front of her? And then her gaze kind of drops to the point sort of between her feet, almost just looking straight down. The demon behind her almost rolls her eyes up into her head, takes a step down onto the stairs next to her, still looming over her, and slowly lowers herself down. She's sitting on the top level of this dais, and seated, she is about as tall as Nemia here. Puts one hand back up on her shoulder. It is these doubts, these last vestiges that have been drilled within you, the final shackles upon your potential, my love. They have no idea how strong you are. Show them. And it turns back up to you, takes her hand off and smiles, and Nemia, see her almost hyperventilating here, throws her head back up, casting her arms out, and just screams, startling the two druids on either side, who kind of shake a bit and ready their shields and look towards you. And as Nemia brings her head back down, you see that same red tinge in her eyes, the veins pulsing out around the sides of her forehead, running dark, black blood across her face as her skin goes pallid. And she just swings her staff out to point at the door as the hordes of rats start to surge towards the bridges. I'm going to need some initiative.
Oh no.
Friends.
Wonderful.
Hey, can I get that natural 20 again? Did off screen? Okay, not bad.
Exactly a
Not
5% chance you get that.
Not awful. Yeah.
It doesn't hate me too much today.
I'm gonna go ahead and use one of the sawbucks.
Yeah,
And you guys got
17.
like buckets to sob bucks. This
Well,
is
I'm
if
gonna
there's
need
ever a
those.
place to use them, it's here.
'Cause
I mean,
think
like,
have
you
to
know,
actually-
I was out here being a diplomat and whatnot. Can I use that +9 instead of my
I
perception?
would let you roll diplomacy for initiative. Absolutely, I would let you roll diplomacy for initiative. You've got into her head here.
Yes! Yeah. Why did I'll have to use the sawbuck? Oh no. Because
That's the cool thing about the flexible initiative in Pathfinder is that is absolutely reasonable for you to roll that.
Thank you. I'm down a sawbuck, but here we are. Let's try it again.
all right, one more time. There's that, and then there's that. A 25 for initiative.
Wow. How about you, Kasplat?
Where does a 14 put me?
Slightly below Vera. I haven't rolled
Okay.
the horde yet. So 2 druids here. gonna get 16 on the north and 18 on the south. 2 hordes of rats are going to get an 8 and a 19.
Oh, crap.
Absolute spread. Nemia is down here. Is going to get a 27.
Oh boy.
She is upset. And Blenny is going to get a 34.
What? What's so high?
Oh, we're gonna die.
I wanted to help my friends out.
So, this demon sat on the side, sat at Nemia's side, smile on her face as she sees the halfling dance to her tune here. Simply shrugs towards the group of you. Whatever your reasons for coming here, you're powerful folk if you've made it this far. Think about what you could truly be, how much you could accomplish. Choice is yours. Doesn't do anything. She is still literally sitting on the dais here. She doesn't even stand up. Well, Nemia, in an absolute blind rage here, staff down to the ground, just screams out an incantation. Aurelia Flammy! And throws her staff down 1, 2, 3 times repeatedly, blasting with a small swirl and a gout of flame as a beam of fire sprays out once at Kasplat, once at Vera, once at ꞱPerp. Just pew, pew, pew. 3 blasts of energy out from the staff. This is actually 3 separate attacks. So Kasplat going to be a 25 to hit you.
That hits.
Vera gonna be a 21 to hit you.
Oh yeah.
ꞱPerp. Oh, these were high rolls. It's gonna be a 26 to hit you.
It's not piercing or anything, is it?
It is a just blast of pure fire.
Alright. That hits.
26 doesn't crit you by level 3, does it? You've got more than 16 AC.
No, I have 17. So I'm just under.
One off! That's what we like to see. So each of these blasts of fire, none of them absolutely scathing, but each of them landing fairly squarely as she just sprays them out across the group of you. All 3 of you are going to take 13 points of fire damage.
Well, that hurt. That hurt a lot.
That is her entire turn, though, is throwing that blast of magic. And as she does, her and the demon's focus very much turned towards the door. Scald's Tale has donated for a random friend or enemy to join the encounter.
Well, goodbye, everybody.
Be a friend, because I'm
we need some friends.
High or low? We'll roll d20.
You've been doing
High
it
or
high,
low?
but I want to say low.
Who's picking? Who picked?
Anyone? What do you guys call it?
This sucks. I hate
This is
I don't want to pick. Sam, pick.
High or low?
Do it.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi. Shattered Tabletop Games, thank you for the raid. About to maybe roll the kill everyone die. Let's see. 16. High it is.
Notice how he said that? It was like 6. And then like 8 minutes later, teen.
Is that good or bad?
Wait, did you roll up?
You called high. That's what you called.
Wait, what did
At
you
the
get? You rolled a
back-
d20?
I rolled a d20. It's just 50-50. I was just like high or low.
Oh, thank goodness. I usually do a
which one's
D100.
good for you? Oh.
I do a D100 because...
D100s aren't in second edition, so I don't even like have one in front of me, actually.
Wow. I was like, we got 16 out of 100. Take me down. Oh, it's great. That's good.
Good call.
Okay.
Good call.
Blast of Magic. You see the man back at the altar kind of shudder, and his head turn, his one eye sort of blearily opening as he looks towards the group of you. And I'm going to add this guy to the initiative table.
Woo!
With also a 23, so he'll go right in here.
On our side, though, right? He's not gonna like
Probably.
mad us.
It's a random friend or foe.
Yeah, I know.
Randomly each time. Every time.
Tabitha!
Yes. So, I had things planned out, but they have slightly changed. So, I would like to cast Lingering Composition. So, depending on my performance check, it'll increase the duration of my cantrip. Let's do that. All right.
That's a great focus ability. Fantastic.
Oh, I need it. 21.
21 absolutely succeeds. You are just rolling what's basically called a level-based DC, which is for third level characters 18. So that'll succeed pretty easily. So you will, whatever your next cantrip is, will last for I think 3 rounds instead of 1.
Yes, precisely that. And I am going to, and please don't take offense, inspire competence on Vera.
Thank you. I need confidence.
I'm gonna give that to you.
What does that give me?
So basically, you get it counts as having like taken sufficient prep to aid on like a skill check of your choice.
Okay.
I guess of my choice. So when I later use the aid, I can perform performance instead of a normal skill check, and it helps. I hope I'm saying the right thing. Yeah. If you're blah 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 blah. Yeah. My encouragement inspires my ally to succeed at a task.
Cool.
So I'm trying to help you a lot.
Thank you. I
can
need
use
it.
my performance to help you instead, because that's way higher. And then I'm gonna go ahead and inspire courage on Kasplat. So you get a
Inspire
+1.
courage is everyone. That's an AoE.
Oh, everybody in this 60
So
foot.
the entire
Yeah.
party gets that. Yep.
I'm inspiring courage for everybody.
We need that.
+1 on attack
Where's it
rolls,
do?
damage rolls, and saves against fear effects. So, 60 feet, I hope that helps. And that is what I do.
Normally, you can only use one composition spell at a time, but as you just used your lingering performance to extend your competence and spend a focus point on that, I'll allow it. But normally you can't overlap 2 of them.
I just remembered. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah.
Continue. No. Keep going.
That was
I
it.
don't
I
want
was just
her
saying normally you can't have 2 compositions going simultaneously, but
She immediately takes 2 mental damage for hitting me. Because I'm very spiteful. With my blood. My blood is very spiteful for being hit before my turn. How dare you attack me?
Yeah, right. Right, they beat you in initiative. You can just zap them if they do bad stuff.
Yeah. How dare you? And you must make a will save as well. Per spell slot level. So depending on how strong that was, it's 2 mental damage per spell slot and must make it a basic will save.
Oh, she's taking 4 damage then, because that was a 2nd level spell. She blasted out at the group of you. So she's like 4 points of damage and makes a will save.
I don't know what
Does she
happens,
have the rolling
though.
mind reaction? Oh, she doesn't. So what's the ability called?
It's called just, it's my blood magic. Let me find out where it is.
Oh, it's under your bloodline thing, right? That's part of your actual bloodline ability. Let me make the will save, because if she gets a billion, then it probably doesn't matter. She's got a billion. That's going to be a 28.
Oh yeah, I don't even know what it needs to be against out of the 19.
That's going to be a regular success.
Yeah, I don't know where that comes in at. I'm looking through.
Well, look, and then her turn's not going to be for a minute, so figure that out, and I'm going to go forward.
Yes.
Because that's Tabitha's third action there. Now, the man back at the altar sort of slowly, again, rolls his head over, slumps against the side of this, and sees these surges of fire shoot out from Nemia's staff. And he is going to kind of look around the area where he is. And he reaches back behind the altar and pulls at something. Looks to be a shaft of some kind, pulling up what first looks like a walking stick, but he pulls it up. It's capped with a wooden carved wolf's head, whose fur almost kind of winds down the top quarter of the staff itself. And he picks it up and just kind of having difficulty keeping himself up or gripping it. Closes his eyes shut. You see him muttering some kind of an incantation and just gently sort of drawing a circle, like rotating the staff. And it actually conjures energy, small green sparks of essence flowing out the end of this, manifesting into, I know the token's red, that's what I have, a green wolf taking form on the dais next to him. Which is immediately going to lash out towards Nemia. Jaws just ripping towards the leg closest to her. A basic will save is for the damage. A basic save is a type of save. So with that, she would take half instead. She'd be taking 2 instead of 4. Okay. Little wolf's gonna bite. Little wolf's gonna get a 16, which is gonna miss. Little wolf's gonna bite again. He's upset. He's gonna take the -4 because it's agile, and he's gonna miss again as he's just kind of manifesting, not seemingly fully corporeal. Whether that's the man's weakness or the downfall of the spell, it snaps pulling at this like rat robe dangling behind her. It stops her from her blast of fire as she whips around to see what in the hell is happening behind her. It gets her attention. Ʞperp.
The 2 druids kind of standing there guarding the bridge. They have the like status effect eyes as well.
They haven't done anything yet, so they're just kind of standing there like shields set, tridents in hand, defending the bridge, but they don't look crazy yet.
Okay.
They also haven't gone, though.
Here's what Ʞperp's going to do. I'm gonna run down here to this corner, as close to that corner as I can get. And I'm gonna cast Hydraulic Push on the demon lady here, with the intent to get her into that raging water thing, if it happens.
Okay. So good.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm just gonna use the sawbuck so that I have essentially advantage on this.
Does that attack or does she make a save?
It's an attack roll.
Oh, okay. That was a fortitude save. Fair enough.
Yeah. I did too, and then I read it. I was pleasantly surprised.
Reading is an impressive power.
Okay, so that is a 25 to hit.
25 will hit.
Just a regular success, correct?
Regular hit, yes. Racy is not in fact
plus-
15.
Is it plus
All right.
one to
Plus
a?
1.
Oh, plus 1.
Does that give a critical?
No.
Oh yeah.
I counted
It's
that
not
plus 1 in
16 either.
my hit.
Uh,
Total damage is 10 bludgeoning, but she is knocked back 5 feet.
nice.
And this, she's just sat there. Blast of water shooting out of Bodhi Perp here. Just appearing from nowhere, punches in the side of this demon and just topples her over into this rushing river of water. Where she, barely even getting to react, hand knocked up from the force, she just goes over the side, plops into this turbulent river out of sight.
She melts in water.
Swarm.
Oh, witch.
Red Swarm Alpha. There's so many tabs. Where's Red Swarm? This is Southern Red Swarm. Not a particularly fast lad.
Do swarms in 2E have the same, like, 1E status deals?
What? Clarify,
Bludgeoning,
please?
Like, the same immunities and whatnot?
No, they are not. Nothing about being a swarm natively makes you completely immune to physical damage anymore. They're resistant to it, but you can, like, poke a swarm with the dagger and still do some damage as long as you can do enough to get to the resistance. It is going to surge.
Yeah.
Around this still confused druidic retainer here across the bridge at the nearest thing they see, which is Bodhi Perp. And as they arrive, whirling around the gnome, you see them kind of hopping. It really is like a rolling wave of these. They're not really just skittering across the ground. It's almost just bouncing towards you. And as they move, they get faster and faster. And you start to see their black little eyes turn this same seeping red as they surge up, jumping up all around Bodhi Perp. Make me a reflex save.
Gross. Reflex. 22.
22 will succeed. So you're going to take half. It's going to do 3 on the first swarming hit and 3 on the second. So you're going to take 6 points of slashing. Oh, sorry, piercing, still works. Damage total as they swarm around you.
Reaction. Blood Vendetta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Curse the target, punishing it for having the audacity to spill my blood. 2d6 persistent damage, and it must make a will save. Alright, persistent damage is 9.
Entire horde of rats. All feeling this pain. Ooh, it got an 11 on the will save. Definitely fails.
Full persistent damage until the bleeding stops. It has weakness 1 to piercing and slashing. Persistent
Okay,
9
so it
bleed,
counteracts.
and
And then it bleeds for 9.
Yes.
And the horde is definitely still bleeding. The retainer on the bridge is going to step up onto the bridge itself, kind of bracing himself, his back foot on this red mosaic and his forefoot on the bridge, raising the shield up to set it. Trident sort of locked to the side. Not turning towards you, seemingly having dismissed you, expecting the rats to deal with the gnome, but looking towards the group of you in the door. And he yet lets out a similar roar, a battle cry, as these same veins ripple across his face and his skin starts to go pale as well. Now he looks like that. Vera.
I'm going to step forward and look at Nemia. and say, if this is what you want, I'll show you my true self. And she's going to reach out a hand towards her, and that same sleep that she used against her before spreads out from her. And I cast Grim Tendril. So that is a Fortitude save for every creature in front.
Her and a large heap of rats.
Yes.
Double value. Alright, she's gonna get a 28? You said your DC was 19?
Yeah, I'm 19.
Does not critically succeed.
Okay.
Regular success. Rats got a 7. So they're gonna critically fail.
Okay, so she takes 3 damage because that's halved, but no bleed. The rats are going to take 12 damage and have double persistent bleed.
And they're going to take a fair bit more than that, as this line of energy ripping through a swarm is incredibly effective. It's hitting a ton of these rats.
And then with my last action, I'm going to activate the dancing scarf that I found back at the cabin, which makes me concealed until the beginning of my next turn.
You do need to make a performance check
to
activate it.
I can
then
do
you're concealed.
that. Do I make that as an action right now?
It's the action that activates the scarf, yeah.
Gotcha, okay. I wasn't sure if I had to do that. My performance, though, is +9. Please be good. Okay, it's a 15.
I think that's all you need, because it's just a first level item.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
Yeah, I think it's the DC of the items level, and I'm pretty sure it's 1. I'm not going to look. But as it whirls up around you, it sort of obstructs their view of you. And concealment in this game is basically like a 20% chance for anything targeted at you to just straight up miss. Before they make their attack, they have to roll what's called a flat check, which is the D20 no modifiers, and get at least a 5. So before I even get to roll to hit you, there's a 20% chance it just fails outright. It ain't bad.
Okay. That's my
Second
turn.
druid will step forward, placing his shield and roaring as well, joining his allies in this blood rage as he steps up to guard the bridge, putting his shield up and using all 3 of his actions to step up rage and raise his shield, bringing us very nicely along to Kasplat. A lot of people on this initiative table. It's very large.
I am going to move here. I think I want to use my battle axe.
Okay.
On this guy. So let me roll. $25 to hit.
25 with his shield up there is absolutely going to land. As a reaction, he's going to catch some of it with the shield. He's going to block it, but that's only going to reduce the damage as much as it does.
Okay. And then 11 slashing.
Okay.
And then I'm
with
going
11,
to... Oh.
Yeah, he's going to take 8 through the shield's hardness. And it's an axe versus a wooden shield. This is exactly what your weapon's designed to do. This blow is going to shatter through it, all but destroying this shield, leaving it useless to him. He's actually not even considered to be blocking anymore. His shield is broken.
Sweet. I'm going to do it again.
Wreck him.
At a -5.
Wait, hang on. Math.
That's the worst.
22 to hit. -5 you said, right? 22.
Yeah. absolutely, definitely hits him. He doesn't have a shield anymore.
10 slashing.
Okay.
And then I think that's my turn.
Right. Splat starts to batter through this druid, putting up a pretty solid offense here. Second horde of rats, who is very bleeding on account of grim tendrils, is going to surge out across the bridges towards the door, putting itself here, whirling across the front of this entryway, just in front of Tabitha, and all around Vera, who's finding herself in a horrifyingly similar situation to something that happened much earlier in the adventure.
Yep.
And again, I need a reflex save from you.
Oh, okay. I'm okay on that. Please be good. Please be good. Please be good.
Can I aid
22.
this? Oh, you're good. You're
Yeah,
good.
absolutely aid this. You can aid any d20 check, yep.
Oh, I get a +1 on that, right? Anyways, because I have the courage. So it's a 23.
Okay.
I think I'm okay.
Oh, was I supposed to get a +1 on my stuff?
Your
Attack and damage.
Well, it wouldn't have changed any of those into crits.
Oh, okay.
But the damage rolls.
That's true. He'd have 2 more damage on him. Accurate. 23 will succeed, so you'll take half. It's got to move twice to get around this bridge over to where you are. It's
But
gonna eat for also.
I'm concealed.
True.
Because my scarf,
You are
right?
concealed, but with the swarm, there's so many of them, it doesn't even make an attack. It's like some of them are going to get through and hit you just by weight of numbers.
Okay.
You're only taking 3 damage, though. 3 points of piercing.
That's
You're successful
still a
saving
lot.
throw.
It's quite a lot.
You got, what, 8? You're fine. You're
Fine.
fine.
It's all good. I'm fine. If I go down, I'm fine.
We believe in you. You go down, you're dying 3, right?
She's not wounded anymore because she's been treated, so she'd just go to dying 1.
So we're back to the okay.
When you treat somebody with mundane medicine, it actually removes the wounded condition immediately.
Okay.
So flying up with a massive wing beat shooting up from the water is this demon. He does have wings. Now very much drenched. Flying about 20 feet up over the river. She looks around, her hair now just sort of wet, soaked, hanging, clinging around her face and her back, enraged. Her vision turns down towards ꜱᴇ. You just see this moment of wrath as she flies up out of the water before she composes herself again. Flies out over the central platform, almost just in the center of the room. Her wings span as these demonic wings flap, keeping her aloft. Now somewhat impressive. And points down to ꜱᴇ. You insolent little worm. You have no possible chance of understanding the gifts that I offer. My time is wasted on you. Dominator! Now, why don't you just lay down and let nature take its course? And as she says this, I have a strange question for you, Jared, because this is an actual mechanic. Oh, you're not close enough for that to affect you, actually. Just make me a will save.
Oh, no. I think he's frozen.
Oh, I think he might have died. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Our fearless leader.
No.
He imploded. We'll see what happens with that in a moment. But Nemia, up here, turning around this wolf, kind of reactively, just brings this staff up, just swipes it down, just a bash overhanded toward this dog, sort of just reflexively. For 12 to hit. Melee is not your forte, Druid. Which this dog is going to duck under. And she is going to follow that up with a spell. Getting more value than it probably should out of hers. Ardente Manos! And pulls her hands back and shoots this gout of fire out over the dog here. Burst of surging flames. Well, it's a low rolling kind of turn. The dog gets a natural 1 to reflex save and lets out one small yelp as it's just washed away in an ocean of flames. The old man, also in this path of this blast, this eruption of fire, it scorches the side of the altar. We'll give him cover. He's kind of behind the altar here with a staff. He's also going to make a reflex save. Ooh. He's going to succeed. He's got this stone between him here that's giving him some amount of protection. He's going to take half, which is 11. It's half. Still going to catch him pretty bad, and you're going to see most of his cloak kind of catch here. Now, Bodhiperp, I needed a will save from you for your new demon friend.
A will save, all right.
I'm impressed that your computer can crash and the stream doesn't go down. Like, that's...
Well, because that's on the stream computer.
Yeah.
This is specifically why I do it this way. Yeah.
We're smart.
16 on the die. You said a will save?
Yeah.
Is going to be a math thing. 23.
23 is going to fail.
What?
What? As
Wait,
this
plus
demon...
What with the plus?
24 would still fail.
Dang it.
All right.
Oh boy.
I don't like this. I don't love it. I'll be honest.
This demon simply commands you to stop resisting and let nature take its course. And as Bodhi stands there and you see this demon talk to him, he just sort of puts his arms down. As the rats are still surging over him, just a blank look on his face.
No.
You see this demon grin wickedly. Tabitha.
Okay. I want to move here. And I am going to use... I wanna heal Vera with those gloves. That's just what I want.
Yeah.
It's just a single action. With her having showed you how to coax the magic out of that, no check or anything required. You just reach out, touch her, and she gets 2d6 plus 7 health.
Let's roll it. Thank you. Absolutely. There's that. So, well, 19 points. I rolled a 6 and a 3.
Nice. Thank you. That is so much more. I'm back up. Back up, baby.
Wait, that, alright. You got it. I'm here.
Solid. That's only one action to use those. You still have one left. Yep.
Yeah. I would have loved to have been able to... What was that thing that I wanted to do? Mirror image, but I'll have to do that later. So, I'm going to pull out my short bow. And that's what I'll do.
Okay. Readying up as you can with your bow in hand. This druid in the back here. Well, he was gonna cast Magic Fang on his wolf, and then his wolf exploded. So instead of that, he's gonna look over towards Nemia, now almost just fully prone at the back of this altar, just barely clinging to consciousness here. Bottom half of his vestments, little bits of fire and smoldering, where he's been incinerated by this flame. Him kind of grit his teeth in pain. Turn towards Nemia and look at this demon flying overhead. Nemia, I've tutored you for years. Taught you the ways of Gosrin. You know this is not it. Spaleni speaks falsehoods. Please. And she turns her attention towards him, further away from the rest of the party. He looks across the rest of the room and sees Ʞᴱ just sort of standing there in the rat pile. Pulls up what little magic he has left. Iskutarad, Magikai! And he is going to attempt to dispel magic on Ʞᴱ. Can you dispel demon magic, my friend? What do you need? 15. All right, odds aren't great. Ʞᴱ, do you want to roll for him?
Sure. Does it help that I have an Aasimar heritage? Am I resistant somehow?
If that's something it gives you, but I don't think so naturally.
No,
he needs a 15 on the die to succeed at this dispel magic.
12.
He tries. He gives it his best, and for a moment you feel a sense that something is wrong, because you're not like paralyzed. You're not being forced. It's your own thoughts. You are just like, yeah, I should just stand here. Everything I've done is wrong. You see this demon almost as a god, and you must obey her words. And you feel this voice calling in the back of your head. Ignore it. It's just not strong enough. Ʞᴱ just stands there, looking down at the rats as they surge around him. Now, with what little bit of survival, the basest human instinct there is that can get through, do still get a reflex save against their damage.
Natural 1. 8.
Oh.
Not great rolls.
Ash gave me her rolling.
Hey! I mean, it's fair.
But with 3 actions to do nothing but rip Ʞᴱ apart, they are going to do 28 damage. You see Ʞᴱ just stand there and accept it as they pull him to the ground. They are still bleeding.
Do you want to give me those in order? Because I'm at 13.
It was 3. Double was 6. And then 5 for 10. And then 6 for 12. Something like that.
So,
like it's.
That last hit would have been when I'm already dying 1.
But there.
So I'm dying 3?
It would
make
you
trying to make
dying 2 is what it would be. Because you go down at no, you will be dying 3. You went down to a critical failure. You're right. Yeah. The third hit would take you to dying 3. On the very verge of death. Dying 4 is a corpse.
Unless I took that feat that I didn't. Cool.
No.
It's still bleeding. I'm gonna get my kill.
It is still bleeding. Get your blood vendetta in there.
This is so bad.
This is so bad.
Again.
9 more.
They
Well,
haven't
damage is
touched
damage.
the
there.
two baddies.
I know.
Well, the
I
demon,
have-
well, she's in says with Bodhi, does not isn't attacking you really. She is not fighting. It's probably good. Druid on the bridge in front of Kasplat is gonna go to put his shield back up. Realize this is a lost cause and just shuck it off of his arm and cast it down into the river below him. And with his one free hand, with his other hand rather, stab out with his spear towards Kasplat. Just a quick kind of defensive jab. For a 23 poke.
That's a big poke.
Not a critical poke. Not a critical poke's what we're looking for. And this is kind of just a quick little stab with the trident. But you can see as he's in this insane rage, this black rage, this bloodlust, he hits with an incredible strength that his body does not suggest. Well, I mean, I should probably roll the damage dice first. He hits with the moderately incredible strength that his damage that his body does not suggest, dealing 12 points of piercing damage. And attempts to use his free hand to physically shove you back away from the bridge at a -5. For an 11. What's your fortitude DC, Kasplat? 10 plus your fortitude save modifier. 11 might critically fail.
10 plus my fortitude?
Yeah.
That'd be 18.
Okay, I wasn't sure how chunky it got this early. 11 will regular fail, but not critically fail. And as he is unable to push you back from the bridge, he's just going to take a quick last swipe with the trident for a, well, definitely not going to hit with a -10. So Vera, how much is the bleed from your critical Grim Tendrils? Because the rats from your ends bleeding. I don't think we counted it last
Yeah,
time.
it's persistent for, since they did, it's the rats, they did double, so it's 2 damage per turn.
Okay, that doesn't quite kill them. But you see this horde on you that is seething and falling apart, and there's little left of the horde of rats on you.
Okay, so it's my turn now?
Yes.
I'm gonna immediately move, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm going to cast Soothe on Bodhi Perp for a total of 10 health. And then with my last action, I'm gonna cast Shield on myself. I'm not gonna move to bring him, because it's all I really can do. Can't do what I wanted to do, but I'm gonna make sure we don't lose somebody.
Conscious in a rat ocean. As
Well,
Bodhi
enjoy
Perp
that.
awakens in what must be the most nightmarish situation I could possibly imagine.
You get a +2 to your status of mental damage, though, so it's not that frightening.
That's true. It's less frightening than it would normally be because you're a little soothed.
It's common.
Watching Kasplat and this other druid almost looming over you, battling with axe and trident. The other druid, keeping his shield raised, pulls his spear back, ready, but doesn't forsake this bridge, not leaving a free path up to the druid yet. The Splat.
I definitely want to rage. Especially seeing Bodhi Perp go down initially.
Big rage party over here.
I know.
Everyone's raging. 4 of the 9 characters in this room are currently raging.
I
Can I
felt
just
like
rage?
that. I was having FOMO, okay? So she's raging now. We're gonna continue whacking at this guy. I want him dead.
Pretty hurt. He doesn't have a shield anymore.
Oh no. Good. Okay. Oh, that so hits. Woo. 28. Does that hit?
Without a shield, 28 crits.
Hell yeah. Better.
Big axe.
Okay. Oh, heck yeah. So that'd be 14, and then is that doubled? Is it crit?
14's not doubled? Yeah, you would double that.
And there you go, 28.
28 is going to solidly chop, hacking into this man, and as you pull the blade free, his lifeless body topples down into the torrential river beneath the bridge. He's out.
All right. And then she's gonna whack at these rats. Do a little hack at him. Oh my gosh, this is another 28 to hit. Woo!
With the minus 5?
Rats. Oh wait, it's minus 5. 23.
Like, what is your attack modifier? Holy crap.
Sorry.
23 will hit the swarm.
Okay.
You might kill this through their physical resistance. It's possible.
Let's go.
With rage
So it's
damage,
10?
it's very possible.
Wait.
10 will
so yeah,
absolutely.
12. Because it's plus
12,
2 additional
10
damage.
would have killed them through the resistance, and
Oh.
12 will absolutely kill them
good
through the
measure.
resistance to disperse this swarm. The pair of swings Kasplat clears this corner of the room.
And because I have another move, do I not?
Raging is one. So
Does it count? as an
rage,
action?
whack, whack. It does to enter the rage.
Okay.
Later on, higher level barbarian gets to do free things with their raging action, but for now it's an action to get going with the angry. But then you're, as you can see, an unstoppable war machine afterwards. So it's an action well spent.
All right. Okay, good.
The
They're off
remaining
the-
horde of
That's my
reds,
goal.
addled, damaged, and bleeding as they are going to surge around Tabitha and Vera. I need a reflex save from each of you.
Okay.
Wonderful.
All
right. What do we
15. But I'm actually going to use one of my rerolls. Because I am worried that's not going to save.
Chelsea has I got a 20 dance going.
I got
22.
I was one off. I was one off, but I got a 28. You know, being a cat is great. A cat folk, you know.
28 just barely doesn't critically succeed. So you'll both, with a 28-22, you'll both take half. And they had to move to get here. So they only have 2 actions to attack the group of you. Each of them doing 5 points of damage. You'll each take 10 points of damage as the swarm seems to almost literally batter itself apart against you. The bleed damage from Grim Tendrils destroying it at the end of its turn from the persistent input. Room is thinning. Demon, still flying above, looks across the group of you. It's truly impressive what mortals can do when pushed to the very brink. This isn't half of what you could be. I implore you, please, consider my offer. Why? Your footnote in history when the entire book could be dedicated to what you've accomplished. And she is still just flying there, 20 feet up in the center of this room here. Almost pleading now. She seems truly sincere. Her attention is turned completely from Nemia, who absolutely notices this. As she looks up towards the demon and looks out towards the group of you with a mixture of hate and confusion. It's apparent to her that as soon as you four have arrived and shown how strong you are, this demon has instantly lost interest in her. She is not happy about that. She lets out a scream, dropping her staff to the ground, holding her offhand up into the air, where fire whirls and coalesces around it. And she pounds it into the ground, launching herself 15 feet up. Not quite as high as Beleni, but towering over this dais before she screams, shooting down across the entire room to slam into the tiles behind Tabitha and Vera in a fiery explosion.
This little druid is going to be the death of me.
Maybe. Need a reflex save from both of you.
Ah! No.
Wait.
I'm gonna use my last reroll.
So she turned herself into a fiery projectile? Is that what I'm getting?
Basically, she jumped up and flew and fire punched an explosion into the ground behind him, shot across the room like a comet.
I'm gonna use my cat's luck.
Natural 20. Bloody 28. But I still have courage, don't I?
Well, I mean, natural 20 is a critical success. You avoid this entirely.
I have inspired competence, but yeah, courage is gone now. But I'm gonna use my cat's luck and re-roll that. So, wow. And I'm also going to use. We might as well. These sawbucks. Why not?
Place to blow them.
Right? It's the time. Sign of the times. Okay. 16.
16.
Oh, wait.
Regular
That's twice.
fail. Oh.
It's twice. My bad. 21.
21. Still regular fail. So is Blast of
I'm
Fire.
gonna take it.
Vera takes nothing and you take all of it. So I can only assume that as you're healing her with this this glove here, trying to bring her back from the brink, you are literally between Vera and Nemia and take all of this, sparing Vera completely. You are going to take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points of fire damage. And 7 points of bludgeoning damage for 17 points of damage total from the fire and the shockwave as she lands.
Okay.
Question. Since I had shield up, can I use, since it says unlike a normal shield block, you can use the spell's reaction to cast magic missile?
Against magic missile. You can block magic missiles with it.
Oh,
Which
okay.
are usually completely unerring. There we go.
Can
and
I
she
use
is gonna
blood
whip
vendetta?
around. If it triggers on bludgeoning or fire damage, then yeah. It's physical damage from the bludgeoning.
It'll make me bleed, right? Yeah, totally.
Makes her
Why not?
bleed.
It makes her bleed. The
Blood vendetta?
The damage the damage that was just done to me. I have to like it has to spill my blood. And I assume getting punched in the gut. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Cough up a
bludgeoning
little
damage,
blood.
physical damage, I'm pretty sure that's that qualifies unless it's to specific types. That absolutely you could use it on that.
10 points.
10 points of persistent damage?
Yep. I believe it says it's if the damage is done to you, the target takes 2d6 persistent bleed damage and must attempt a will save. I'm not sure what for. I guess that's the saving throw.
The will
so
save.
if you take Yeah. So you'll have to try to save against that damage. think mine is 19.
Yeah, sounds right.
32.
Just roll a 1. Okay, never mind. Well, you have to try.
19's what I got on the die, unfortunately.
Of course.
For that one. But she whips around in a fury towards the two of you and pulls that same sickle off of her hip from beneath this rat cloak she'd had when you first saw her and just screeches out, "You can't take her from me! You're nobody! You suckers freaks!" Tabitha.
My turn?
Yes.
All
Drawing gets
right.
her third action. You can't swing yet.
All right. Do I take a penalty for casting in front of them?
Casting in front of somebody would provoke an attack of opportunity, but most people don't have that in 2nd edition. And a druid who does not appear to be supremely competent in physical combat probably doesn't have attack of opportunity, so you could pretty
I can
safely
make that
just do it.
gamble.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make that gamble, and I am going to cast Mirror Image. And it should last for a minute. So I have to roll for how many there are. Illusory, blah blah blah. I think there's just 3 images.
There
I have to
are
roll
just 3, yes.
Okay. I see the one before. All right, so 3 of me kind of, split apart. So, it gives them less of a chance of hitting me. But I also, can I shoot her with my bow? Since I have
Sure,
it out.
absolutely. Just
Why not?
touch her with it and pull the trigger.
Let's go. All right, let's roll the hit. It was like I'm not gonna roll. There we go. Ooh, 26.
Absolutely hits.
I love that for me. It is a deadly weapon.
That does extra stuff on a critical hit.
I didn't crit.
You'll get
Okay.
extra
I
dice
was
if
wondering.
you crit.
Okay, I was wondering if I crit. All right, we're gonna do some damage. That is a 3, healthy 3. No,
3's damage.
love a
3's
good
progress.
D6. And that's what I do.
Our guy in the back, seemingly all but spent at that, is going to slowly crawl closer towards the front of the dais here. Still sort of almost dragging this stick behind him, trying to crawl with his other arm. Looks up at this demon, Nemia, who has just jumped to the other side of the continent, and just collapses on the altar.
Well,
Odie Perp, you are awake, you are prone, you are wounded. You are not dead.
I am not sure how this works. But I think I use 1 action, so my familiar can use 2, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So first action, I'm gonna do the restorative familiar. So I'm gonna do 1d8 times half my level, which is 2, 1. I don't know if we round up or down here.
We round down, so it's just 1. It doesn't go up till 4.
That's dumb because it would have been so many hit points. But I get 8 back.
Whole another d8. Hey, big d8.
Which makes me feel a little bit better. And then glancing around, there's still the flying demon is a problem. The druid is a problem. I assume I'm laying down, correct?
You are prone, yes.
Okay. I will cast, because it's in range here, I'm going to go ahead and cast Snowball at the demon flying around. Is a to hit
You really just
spell.
don't want to be alive, do you? You're just tired of living.
I mean, I'm trying to save people. Saving my friends.
Please save us.
A natural 20 on the die, 20 non-modified.
Critical
Love
hit.
to see it.
All right. Target takes double damage and a minus 10-foot status penalty. So it's going to take 2d4 times 2. Okay. All right. With
damage.
So it's going to take 8 damage, which, whatever. But it's going to have the minus 10-foot penalty for 1 round. And then for my... Oh, no, I used an action so that he could do an action. Okay, that's it.
Look at Vera, then.
I'm going to look over at the demon and say, this is what you wanted. And I'm going to grab Nimia by the wrist, and I'm going to cast Chill Touch. So that is a... Fortitude save on her part.
Can I aid? If I need to. I don't know how I'd aid on this, but I'm just trying to aid.
Not sure I don't think you can aid a saving throw. Yeah, I think you can aid anything she rolls.
But this.
I think you can aid a saving
All
throw.
right.
Fortitude, believe it or not the small halfling druid's good save. Which is why we roll good dice, right? No. 9. Critical failure.
Okay. Perfect. So, they take... Uh-oh, where's my dice? 8 damage, plus now she is enfeebled for 1 round as well. And that was
pretty good for
one
someone
action.
who just pulled out a weapon.
Yeah. And then with my last action, I want to move away. Can I move through a space of my own companions?
Yeah, you can move through your allies.
Okay. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm going to move there. Move away as far as I can.
Alright. This retainer, now seeing that his leader, he was so invested in protecting, has literally fireballed herself across the room. Rush into battle seems the thing that we're doing now. As he runs up to join her, flipping his trident to overhand and just putting the energy of this sprint behind a thrust down at Tabitha. The person who is the most in front of him.
Wonderful. Very wonderful. Love that for me.
24.
How dare. That hits. Can't
It's
avoid
something.
it.
You absolutely can. You have 3 mirror images.
Oh,
He only has
forgot.
a 25% chance that it actually hits you.
Right.
He needs
It wasn't a
4 on
critical
this.
success, right? It wasn't like
Yeah,
a
just there's a
critical
regular, unless it's 10 higher than your
Nice.
DC, which there's no way your AC is 14. Which means he needs a 4 on this D4. That's a 3, which is good, but not a 4. So it's absolutely going to smash through one of these images. He puts his shield back up.
Nice.
Splash.
I'm like, not quite. Now twirl my mustache.
Splat's going to move here.
I feel like this druid's not going to be alive anymore.
Of course. I'm gonna hit it, baby. Yeah.
Alright, who are we unaliving? The halfling, I assume?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit here first. See how that goes. 25 to hit.
25 hits? Your rage hits. Yep. This splat is a war crime.
13. damage. Do we still have the thing from you?
It's gone now. It was 1 round.
Okay, just making sure. Okay, yeah, so 13.
And doesn't look like she could take another hit like that. They're starting to add up, and she is very small. But this blood fury, this wrath, is keeping her going, and you got 1 action left.
I just got a nat 20.
Yes.
So what you're saying is she's dead, right?
That's definitely. There's no
Oh,
way
she's
she
so
survives
dead.
the splat crit right now. What happens?
How much
to
damage?
her
How much?
splat?
That's a 22 damage. Good night, sweet dreams.
Love to see it.
Yeah, no, she came in swinging past Tabitha. She's like, you can't hurt my cook. I need her to cook me dinner later. And as she does that, she's on one side. Whenever she hits her the one time with the axe, she's gonna hit her on this side of the neck, and then she's gonna swing at the other side, hit her on this side of the neck. She's gonna decapitate her.
As this last hit falls, her head turns briefly up to the demon flying above, and then her head turns a little further and just keeps going as it rolls forward, and she slumps down onto the ground.
As that happens, she wants to look at Tabitha and be like, sorry for getting blood on your shoes.
Oh dear. I'm trying to get rid of that too.
I'll
No
clean
problem,
it later.
dear.
Demon here, still
And-
flying above.
Oh. Yeah, that demon.
Demon's still here.
That demon.
Takes a big snowball to the face. It kind of wobbles her in the air here, but she just looks more irritated than anything. I mean, you got health bars in roll 20. She's fine, but she's starting to get mad. And she looks down and sees Nemia fall over, and Nemia's last action is to look up towards the demon. And Beleni just rolls her eyes. Why are all of you so insolent and worthless?
I told you I was
getting
a mom.
Quiet, she did say
Bored
that.
of this anyway. Fine. Aberton is nothing. Have your hermitage. Ratio Yanwam. And mirroring experiences you had back at the campground. An incantation that there's a little bit of memory in your mind. She casts the exact same spell Nemia had. And simply bored. Teleports out of the hermitage.
This poor guy next to us.
Out of anger.
Hey, what's up, man? We got some
This fucking
unreturned
guy.
rage.
Next
I know.
to you
Plus,
is...
we're like, are you okay? Do you want to join us?
Yeah, we have.
He sees
Looks really
Nemia
good.
fall over and the demon leave, and Kasplat literally cut her in half. And his rage turns to fear in an instant. And he drops his trident and drops down to his hands and knees at Kasplat's feet. Universal, please don't kill me gesture.
Oh, well, oh, you're all right. She doesn't know how to react. She's just gonna like pat his head. I'm not gonna kill you, I guess.
You know how like cats like smack like the ever living like mess out of like other cats or animals? Just like
Yeah.
Tabitha's gonna do that. She's gonna hiss real loud and just be like, "Don't you ever do that!" You know, just and then just fix up all her clothes. And say, right. Is everyone okay?
I'm
just
better.
I'm just gonna take a little nap here. I think maybe. Let's slump.
I'll try to help Bodhi, but you know, just that's just what I'm doing. I'm not gonna like roll for it or anything.
And you can take us from the map here. As you go to Bodhi, hear a groan emanate out from the altar. This old man, prone, basically face down. The groan of pain stops and cuts for a moment.
You good? I'm gonna walk over to him and just be like, I'm gonna like try and help him up.
I think up is maybe a little hopeful for the moment.
I'll just push him back onto his back. Better?
Lay down.
She's not very gentle right now. She's in a bad mood. You're gonna have a lot of explaining to us.
Quite right.
I will tell you everything I know in time, but a moment's for an old man's pain. I put my trust in the wind and the waves, and so here you are.
We came because we wanted to, not because your god told us to.
Divine will is never so direct, I find. Even after years of study, the methods are beyond what we can understand. The way's complex, and their will ever-changing. And I can only imagine. Wait, are you that circus?
Yes. Tabitha, can you just feed him? Can we go home? Obviously the mayor is dead. I just want to go to bed. I'm tired. And I'm just gonna start walking towards the door. I'm ignoring the old man.
I have better news than that. Hopefully. Last I heard, Nemia simply had him captive in the shed out front. Do not see it on your way in.
Oh. we got to fight.
We gotta deal with the frogs. We're gonna have to deal with the frogs.
This
What do you mean deal with them? Those are sweet babies.
This is tickling to Tabitha, in fact. Like, how did we possibly miss that? We just ran straight for the door. Oh, Foster. Well, this is great news for you. You are still useful to us.
Me?
Oh, yes. You're going to help us deal with those creatures outside. Pets of yours, I assume.
Nothing quite so mundane, I'm afraid. The Slurks like the cliffside. We have no quarrel with them. No reason to deny them their territory.
Wonderful. And you know how to get around them. And I will do my little healing. Not even gonna give him my food. I'm just gonna do my basic, like, medicine. Just get him standing up if I can.
And as you attend to the worst of him here, he looks like he's had a pretty bad time. These burns he took, even mostly protected by the altar, are fairly severe, but he looks like he's been beaten and abused for days down here. Something that's going to take some time to heal fully. But your attention is certainly going to bring him up, able to stand, able to move in a much better state. Well, whether you believe it to be miracle of Gazra or no, I, as a humble man, really owe you my thanks for my salvation. And for your mercy, as he gestures to the, I imagine at this point, probably bound final druid in the chamber. who I assume you didn't murder after he surrendered. That woman, a demon. Her words were honeyed, and her voice powerful. I was one of the few able to withstand it. But she is a passing thing. Help me to the door, and I'll make sure the slurks don't trouble you. You'll lend me a shoulder, one of you.
A wise choice. I'll lend him my shoulder. And make sure everyone has their things before we go.
There's nothing like super interesting in this room other than the clearly like meticulously made room and altar.
Not anything you could take with. Nothing detached. Save for that strange staff he'd pulled out from behind the altar, which he would have. He's leaning on you on one side and the staff on the other. I give it gladly to those who have enacted my salvation. As you travel towards the door, better spirits. I have a question for you. I don't know quite what has been instilled in you to drive you to my doorstep. You know of the purpose of our hermitage? The history of this isle? You know of Erodin's great towers? Right across the isle of their purpose?
We saw the one tower coming in.
Right. I remember its peculiar shape.
I imagine you would have. Quite visible from the road, but many neglect it as but one of the island's many mysteries. Aeon Tower, we call it. An Aeon Orb, that strange, mysterious ball of light orbiting its pinnacle. According to our teachings and our histories, it is responsible for near all life on this island. It seeds the land's abundance, tempers the season's wrath, provides bountiful harvests for the folk who call this isle their home. At this point, you've made your way through this incredible foyer and back to the entryway you'd first entered. But you've spent long in this isle, I'm sure you've noticed things are amiss. I think the orb's power is failing. I think this isle is dying. That Bellany, that demon, she may well be the cause. God has driven you here, not simply to save the soul of one of his flock. My life is certainly not worth divine intervention, no. If you'd hear his word, you've far greater purpose than just here in this humble hermitage. And you get to the front door and he opens it. And one of the you open it for him, I imagine. Only one of the slurks is still resting on the cliffside here. And turns, blinking with one eye and then the other slowly, looking blankly your direction, and a smile on his face. She is not alone. I visited that tower before she arrived here. It is infested. Zolgats. Reptilian humanoids you might know as Trogs. What relation they have to the demon, I don't know, but if they are not stopped, maybe months, years, or possibly even generations, but this isle will perish. I believe they are greatly accelerating its demise. And as you lead him to the shed, much as he has overheard, not just the mayor, but the Hofton family, the Millers, are held captive as well. You weren't able to save the sheriff, but it seems like damn near everyone that could return to Aberton. You've done a great service for them. But the leader of this hermitage, who the mayor was more than happy to see alive, relatively safe. He seems to hold no grudge for him. A feeling that the druid shares. As the mayor continues to apologize profusely, insisting, as he swore, this man before you was a good man, a good soul, and a good heart, who could mean no harm. Through his words, kind of hang in your head. This might be the end of Aberton's problems for now. But it could be, possibly, only the beginning of something much, much worse. But greatest role on Earth can only go for so long, and I think our opening show has been a resounding success. Not just our performance that first day under our big top, but here, saving what we could of the Hermitage of Blessed Lightning and the town of Aberton both. What do you think, lads? No one died!
We did well.
Yay!
We got close.
What do you mean? I killed a lot of people.
You did.
Yeah.
You murdered so many
Yeah.
folks.
That's true. You did a lot of murder.
A lot of people died.
Thank you. Thank you, my fine party, for bearing with us a little bit so we could wrap up the season finale of the greatest role on Earth here. Properly tie up as much as we could of the extinction curse here for the time being. I appreciate you. But I know we already hang a little late. You want to quickly tell us the last time here, who you are, where we can find you, what you do. Backwards, style it. Ash, start us off.
Oh, okay. I'm Ash. You can find me at Arcane Faith with a Y everywhere on the internet. I stream on Twitch Friday horror games. You can also find me if you watch my socials. I have a new show coming out soon. I don't know when. I can't say when, but you can find me playing some other fun characters around the internet. Jared now. We're gonna mix it all up.
Oh, crap. She's just going out of order. As stated, I'm Jared, at Jared Hoy on socials, all of them, except Twitch. Here I'm the real Gobshite, variety streamer, ETRPG fanatic, all around cool dude. Yeah. You need cinematography services, call me. That's usually what I do. Else you'll find me here, hanging out with all these awesome people. And I want to say thank you to Squiiddish for running us on this greatest role ever. And also thank you to Chelsea, Ash, and Sam for joining me on the adventure. I had a blast, and you guys are awesome. Let's throw it. Let's see, we went down there, so we'll go up to Chelsea. We'll end in like a
Hi, I'm Chelsea, and I was your bard, your gourmet chef bard, and you can find me at Chelseabytes on all platforms. If you like tech, this is the place to join us at the Bite Command. And we're gonna throw it over to Sam.
I am Sam. I played your lovely dwarf barbarian. And you can catch me over on my channel Monday through Friday, playing Final Fantasy XIV. I am going through my first entire playthrough currently, getting through Shadowbringers. I'm closing in on the end. But if you want more D&D content from me, every Monday there's a new podcast released for my D&D podcast, Forgotten Paths. It's an amnesia campaign, so you can find it on any of your podcasting forums, as well as you can find me on Thursday mornings on Twitch.tv/Cantrip Breakers in a D&D campaign, as well as another one on Thursday evenings on Twitch.tv/Captain Robert, Robear. And it's a lot of good fun. But thank y'all so much. This was a really fun first time playing Pathfinder.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was a good intro. Sorry, I'm so tired. Squiiddish,
Thank you in particular for hanging out a little extra. I know, but I was trying to get to some kind of an ending here with rapidity. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of you. This has been an absolute blast. I hope that over the course of this, I've gotten better for running this for you guys. I've adapted a little bit. I got very used to not having the voice delay with my actual table. I hope that adapted back a little bit better towards that. And I hope you guys all, I think almost all of you enjoyed your first adventures in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I'm Squiiddish. You can find me at this very difficult to spell bright yellow name in the chat there. Or over at 2Perception, number 2Perception on Twitter for a lot of my tabletop content. I got a Pathfinder campaign on Saturdays running over on twitch.tv/officialpaizo. Been running 2nd edition campaigns there for Paizo for several years now, having an absolute blast. It's been a lot of fun. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. And this time I can't say find us next week, same dad time, same dad channel, because we won't be here. But there is a ton of other dad content that will be available throughout the weeks that I'm sure Jared can quickly throw out some bits for.
Yeah. Tomorrow we have Bedlam and Discord Odd Jobs. Very much a kind of Firefly-esque in that you get a job and do it kind of adventure of the week with overarching story moments. Friday we have Shambhala, Tides of Change, which is our entire LGBTQ plus BIMPOC cast and show created top to bottom. We are wrapping up that first season. And then Saturday we have our Kings of Dirt finale, which is the 2D20 kind of post-apocalyptic, the world went to shit in 2018, and this is where we're at now. So lots of cool stuff coming.
Thank you everyone for joining us on this journey. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weeks. We're probably going to go the hell to sleep now. Good night, everyone.
Bye.